Alright, the time now is 5:22 p.m. and it is December 6th. It's a Wednesday. I currently have Uber running. I got everything except for Uber Pet on there. But again, it's dead. I'm actually at my house right now in Woodstock. I'm just sitting and just waiting here or whatever. But yeah, here I am right there, as you guys seen earlier. But it's 5 o'clock. Everything's supposed to get moving or whatever. But as usual, it's dead. So don't really know where I'm gonna go or however much money I'm gonna make, which is usually not much. But I guess I'm gonna try something or whatever I can try, because they don't give me any money at all anymore, so don't know what to do. DoorDash is dead again, it's dead in Woodstock right now, which is where I am. So this is where the chase starts, where, I start with DoorDash, unfortunately, and, head to Kennesaw. I'll be in Kennesaw, and then they'll give me trashy orders, which usually used to not be trash, but now they are. Or, whenever I hit that new city or whatever and, start my dash in that city, it'll be dead just like Uber for hours, and I'll end the dash, and then boom, it'll turn pink, just like how you see out here in Sandy Springs, which means that there's like nothing out there, barely. There's like 1 or 2 orders scattered in the whole entire city somewhere. Like, it's nothing out there. So it might say it's busy now, but then when you get there, it's like it'll turn pink, and it does that often, for real. So I'm out here looking like a dummy, just driving free miles, using my gas and stuff like that, and it'll just be like for nothing, because the city will be dead. All the orders are quote unquote fulfilled or whatever. So I mean, it's like there's no purpose to it at all in doing that usually. So, but what else do I have? Roadie. Oh, look at that. What type of trash? Oh my God. Look at that. Over 28 miles for $26. It's over. Look at that. Over an hour and 11 plus 6. That's an hour and 17 minutes. An hour and 17 minutes for $26. That's crazy. And there's crazy traffic out there. Like, no, I'm not doing that, bro. There's crazy traffic out there in Norcross. There's always traffic out there, because Norcross, the highway that uses, that's Tucker. Norcross is that's Duraville. It's over in this area right there. There it is, right there. Norcross uses, what is it, I-85, I think so. And that highway is trash. Like, yeah, I-85 right here. Yeah, north or south to get up there. I think it's one of them or whatever. But it uses I-85. And that highway is always trash at this time. That's why I don't go out there. Like, I don't go to certain places at certain times, even in the nighttime. Like, even though I'm a night driver and I drive at night and stuff like that, like, I know what places not to go at certain times, especially on certain highways. I know not to be there, because traffic it gets very, what's it called? Congested. That's the word, congested. And I-85 is one of them. 285 for sure is definitely one of them. 75 can be like that, but it's not too bad around this time. It's just certain times, especially during the daytime, like early in the afternoon times, like from 10 a.m., like early in the morning times, like around, I want to say like 7 a.m. till about and 75 could definitely be busy from like 7 a.m. till like 3 p.m. Like it's always just slammed. It's crazy. You do not want to be on certain highways at certain times. Like if you know certain highways, you know not to be on those highways at certain times at all times. Like, because if you're doing work or whatever, or you even trying to get home or something like that, the highway is just not the way to go. But then also the back ways is not the way to go, because everybody's going to be using the same idea that, okay, the highways is slowing me down, so let me go use the back ways. And then the back ways, it's not all the time that it's like the traffic on the back ways happens because the lights slow down. It's so weird that it happens like that. It's like traffic lights literally will do the same thing to you to keep you at the same speed that the highway will have you, like whenever it's congested. Like it'll be like almost the same amount of time, if not more, only because of the traffic lights. The traffic lights will literally slow you down even more than being on the highway. So a lot of times it's like you pick your poison. What you want to go on a straight line on a highway, or do you want to wait at several lights and what I'm saying, like stop and go traffic and stuff like that at certain lights. So I guess, like I said, it's just a pick your poison type of situation or something like that, for real. But what's it called? Like I said, I'm just waiting at my house right now for something to happen, but there's no surge at all. It's not busy, nothing. I really don't be making money like this at all. Like I haven't made any money the last few days. I've actually had to borrow money. So I use the Uber Pro card or whatever, and it allows you to borrow $50 or whatever. And nights like this or whatever, days like this, I need to borrow money because I'm using money for gas and stuff like that to drive around and try to look for money and stuff, which is a dumb idea. But it's like that's the only thing I can do is drive around to actually search for the money, because if I don't, then I'm just gonna be like just stagnant, just sitting here, just waiting for forever and ever, and I'm not gonna be doing nothing, and nothing's gonna hit me at all that's gonna be good, that's gonna be worth my while ever. So I have to drive around the city, city to city to try to see, where all the orders are, because it's like every city I go to, it's just trash. I might get 1 order, 2 orders in the city or something like that, or I might get a good ride in like a city or two, and then I have to transition to a new one because, unfortunately, it's not consistent at all. So I use a lot of gas, doing that, and it's like, and it's eating into a lot of my costs. Like my highest cost right now is my gas, literally, and then my second highest cost is food, because I'm out on the road for so long, because I'm driving for so long. I eat, just like I try salads, like Caesar salads and stuff like that, but I get those from like Walmart usually, which are pretty good. They're like $4. But if I'm not at Walmart or whatever, I'll eat like, food from like McDonald's, and like, I try to like limit I budget, how much I can spend and want to spend, on certain stuff. I try to keep stuff under like $10 and stuff like that. But, some stuff might reach $15 or whatever, but I try not to like spend that much in a day. Like I try to like spend at most like $20, in a day or whatever, especially like when it comes to like gas and stuff like that. So I'd spend like $40, and that's combined with like food and gas or whatever total. So that's like $20 in gas, about $20 a day in like eating out and stuff like that. So that's like $40 almost a day and stuff like that, eating food. I try not to like spend too much on food. I'm not spending like $40 on food here, $30 on food here, like, so it's like $60 or like $80 or something like that. No, I budget like where, I know how much I can spend because I know how much I'm not making or how much I'm, gonna possibly make. So, I try to budget that way. But I try to like budget as much as I can. But I mean, at this rate, my income is still declining faster than I can even, replenish my money. So it's like, it's a lose-lose game right now for me. So, I don't know, I'm kind of like in the midst of like being stuck, where it's like I don't know what I should do. Honestly, I go out every day just in hopes, honestly, for real, because that's all I can do. It's just hopes, honestly, that's keeping me still driving. Just hopes. I'm literally going in blind pretty much every day, just hoping that I can try to make $100 a day. Like, literally, I haven't made $100 in a day in weeks, and that's how it is. It's like if I do have a good week or whatever, or something like that, that money will be gone on a bill that's, been due. So I'll throw that money at the bill and then I'm done. Like the next day, it's just like this. It's dead. It's not no money. And then boom, another bill is supposed to be coming out in like, 2 days or 3 days or something like that, or there is another bill that was due when I paid the money for the other bill. And, I'm not making any money on days like this consistently, just consistently not making any money. And, bills would stack up or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, and I'm having to borrow money from, I don't like take out like payday loans and stuff like that. I'm not like, frivolous like that and stuff like that. So I might borrow from, bank accounts, $50 here, $20 here or something like that, and I'd have to work to pay that back. And then that's what's, going to keep me in the same circle where I'm not going to still have enough money because I paid back money to borrow money. You know what I'm saying? So it's still like a zero-sum game where I'm losing money to, try to make some money and stuff like that. So, that's like the constant, like cycle that I'm in, which isn't doing me any better. But like I said, this is my days almost every day, literally. And whenever I do have money, it's always going to like the little bills I can afford to pay, and the rest of the days it's like this, I'm having to scavenge and like have to see how am I going to do this, how am I going to do that or whatever, and bills just keep stacking up or whatever and stuff. And unfortunately, there's not no money or whatever. I don't know. I'd be confused at like this right here. Like, it's just, I'm not doing 20 minutes for $5. That's not enough money. Like, why can't you just give me like 10, like $2 a mile, or like $2, like they wanted, what was it, like 6 miles or something like that? You could give me like an easy $12 for that, right? But you want to give me only 5. Like, in it. And also what you'll recognize is that when you're like, when I don't do stuff like that, how I said in the other video, it's because you're working more than what you're getting like in return to replenish that extra work that you did, right? So all that extra gas I'm doing isn't going to equate to the amount of money that I'm going to be making, because I'm going to be using more gas and making money. So essentially you're going to be paying to work, not getting paid to work. You're paying to work. And that's exactly what you can't do in this business, because unfortunately this is an example of you paying to work, where you're using more gas, to get around. You're borrowing money to replenish that money and stuff like that, and like pay bills here to borrow and stuff like that, but you're not making enough money to pay this and all that and stuff like that. You're literally gonna be in that same predicament of paying to work. And that's why you can't keep taking lowballed orders, lowballed ride requests and stuff like that, because like I said, you're gonna be essentially paying to work, because you're using more gas than you are driving your car to make the money. So I mean, if people are cool with, I guess, paying to work instead of getting paid to work, then I guess it's what floats your boat. But it doesn't mind, because my boat it's got a hole in it. Goddamn, it's leaking. But yeah, I guess just putting that out there, for whoever listens to these videos. Honestly, whoever is going through the same thing that I'm going through, where, your money is just like literally diminishing faster than you can literally replace it. And a lot of other times, because my vehicle, I have a 2016 Nissan Altima that I have 222,000 miles on right now. That's a lot, right? For like a 2016, you're like, God damn, you must have been driving that car for that's like 20 years worth of miles. No, 30 minutes for $8, that's crazy. And that doesn't even include the actual wait time at the restaurant. That's crazy. And then it's another 8 miles. So another 8 miles could be like another 16 minutes. So that's like over almost like 50 minutes for $8. No, that's $8 an hour. That's dumb. I'm not doing that. 27 minutes for $9. Nope, that's not even gonna get me. That's not even gonna get me to my amount that I need to make in an hour. That's not even gonna get me there at all. Because, and I can use these numbers as you use, and the numbers and the way that you could break this down, that you know what you're gonna make in an hour if you accept these things, is because it's an algorithm. The algorithm sees what you accept. So if you're accepting $9 for 30 minutes, it's going to give you $9 every 30 minutes, and you're only going to make $18 an hour. The algorithm is pretty smart. It can learn you. That's what an algorithm is for. It's used to learn you. You know what I'm saying? Just like how your phone is used to learn you. You know, whenever you use certain things that have like AIs and algorithms and stuff like that, it's used to learn you to better suit you, you know, to better find whatever your equilibrium is. And like I said, when you accept stuff like this where it's like $8 for 30 minutes or something like that, you know, $9 for over like 27 minutes or something like that, the algorithm is going to learn that. It's going to say, okay, cool, you're cool with that, you know, so we're going to give you $9 for 30 minutes. So then you can only make $18 in an hour. That's how we're going to limit you. You're only going to make $18 an hour, but you know, you have to factor in all your expenses. Like, this is dumb right here. If you keep accepting this, you're going to keep getting this, right? So all you're going to make, like I said, is $16 in an hour. That's all you're going to literally make is $16 an hour. We don't need $16 an hour. We need $27 to $30 an hour. Well, even more, because $27 to $30 an hour gets you 60,000. You know, people aim for like $40 an hour, you know, in certain markets or whatever, as long as their market's good. Some people make $50 an hour and stuff like that in certain markets because certain markets are better than others. But just in this economy right now, as a business, because we're not employees at all, so all of our expenses are on our own dollars. Uber and DoorDash and Lyft do not pay for anything out of their pocket towards us as drivers or independent contractors, whatever you want to call us and stuff like that. That's our titles, is drivers and independent contractors. But Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, you know, all of them, they don't pay for any of our expenses. They don't be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, do you need gas today or something like that? You know, is your tire okay? You know, do you need more tires or something like that? You know, do you need that oil change that's coming up? You know what I'm saying? Do you need, you know what I'm saying, you know, whatever other little maintenance things or whatever. They won't do that at all, because all that stuff is going to come out your pocket. You have to be literally competent enough to know to take care of your vehicle, you know what I'm saying, to make the money to take care of your vehicle. But unfortunately, you know, Lyft and DoorDash and Uber and stuff like that, they don't care about giving you the money to take care of your stuff, because that's how they're paying us this way. They don't care at all, right? So, like I said, all of what we do is on our dollar. We don't get compensated from Uber and stuff like that if our vehicle goes out of commission. You know, we blow an engine, our transmission goes out. You know what I'm saying? We need new brakes and stuff like that. All that stuff, that we don't invoice Uber and stuff like that and be like, oh, we need this because of, you know, wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? We can't invoice them and be like, you know, we need this or whatever. They're not gonna care enough for that. They don't get paid. They don't pay us. They don't. That's not their I guess job in a way, you know, for them to do that, because as an independent contractor, that puts us liable to do that. Now, if we were employees, and yeah, and if these vehicles were theirs, and yes, then, you know, they would pay for it or whatever. But unfortunately, because they categorized us as independent contractors. That's how they got around the fact of they don't have to pay us to contribute to our expenses at all. That's how they got out of that loophole, because they consider us as independent contractors. But like I said, it's just not the easiest thing to run a business when there's not any income at all, and when your money is going towards repairs because you're using your car more and more, but you're not replenishing it with more and more income. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not replenishing the car with more income, but like replenishing your bank account with more income. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you have to make up for the expenses that you have, and that's where profits come into play, because you're going to have expenses because of the fact that, you have bills, you have wear and tear on your vehicle, you're going to have expenses, but you have to have extra money on top of that I guess you could say acquaint, but, to also accompany the fact that, you have, okay, whatever. But you also have to have profits to accompany the fact that, you're going to have these expenses. And if you don't have enough profits, you're only going to be paying for expenses. And as soon as it's going to become, you're not going to be able to afford expenses, because you're not going to be able to afford, just to make anything, because of the fact that, there's nights like this right here. So, you can't afford your expenses either. So, that's when the downfall kind of comes into play. I'm currently experiencing that because of this fact right here. Like I said, I don't take those trashy orders that you've been seeing, or those trashy numbers, because of the fact that when you do more work than what you're being paid for, you're essentially paying to work. You're not getting paid to work. You're paying to work. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna run up your gas bill, needing more gas in your car a lot more, and you're gonna run up the fact of your wear and tear on your vehicle. Like I said before in another video, that maybe you might not need brakes today, you might not need brakes tomorrow, but in a few months down the line, after you keep running your car, ragged, doing miles and stuff like that for no reason or whatever, letting your car idle for like crazy amounts of times and stuff like that, you're going to need that money for those expenses are going to come up, because it's going to happen. Your brakes are going to need replacing, your tires are going to need to be replaced and stuff like that. And if you aren't making extra profits on top of the money that you're making, you're not going to be able to afford that at all. And I can definitely tell you that from experience, because I'm experiencing that. Like a lot of times, because when I first started Rideshare, and because I didn't understand profits, I was only running at losses, and losses count when you're only affording your expenses. You're breaking even. That's a loss in most people's books. You're breaking even. So you're basically paying for your expenses, and that's about it. There is no profits. You're breaking even. That's it. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was breaking even. And now, since inflation happens, and our expenses are up, we're like rent's up and everything else is up and stuff like that, you can't play the game by breaking even the whole time. You can't play the game by working at a loss. Like, you can't, because your expenses are going up. You can't afford that at all. So what you have to do is, every time you see an order or whatever, because like I said, you're playing against the algorithm that learns you, that will accept whatever number that they give you. Especially if they can give you the lowest number, they'll give you that number, because these apps have to profit too. $8 for 9 miles. But look at the time. Over 28 minutes. In an hour, like I said, if I accept this, I'm only going to make $16 an hour. I do not want $16 an hour. I need 27 to 30. The app can do that, but they don't want to. They're undercutting me, underpaying me, and they're overworking me. Literally, if you accept this stuff, the algorithm will accept it and be like, okay, cool, and then they'll actually test you to get you to be paid lower than that. So next time you see 9 miles, like how you seen $8 for like 9 miles. Next time they'll give you 9 miles and try to pay you 5, right? And it's all a game to see how much the app can profit off of you as a driver. Because if you keep accepting it, the app will keep throwing it at you. It's an algorithm. It'll test you. That's what it does, because they want to make more money off of you than you can make off of them. They're not in this in a game of being friends and stuff like that. It is business, and that's how they're going to treat you. It's like it's business. Unfortunately, that's how it is or whatever. Unfortunately, you have to, go to extreme measures of doing other things or whatever to try to make money. But, it is business or whatever, unfortunately. So, and when I mean by extreme measures, I mean like, taking, offering a customer to not even go through the app at all anymore, because the customers aren't going to get picked up anyway, so it's like, if you offer them a ride that's, that's even if it's at the same price as the app is not paying us as drivers. So if you guys as customers pay $27, that $27 is not going towards a driver. Only $8 at the most, or even $10 is going towards a driver. The rest is going towards the app, but the app isn't the one who's providing you the service. We are as a driver. Imagine a driver that, no, I'm not taking that at all. No, that's crazy. But imagine as, the driver, they offer you great music, they have heat in the car, they have air, AC and stuff like that. They have amenities like, candy or something like that, like different types of cool amenities. Not all drivers have them, but imagine that, what I'm saying? And it's not even the fact that, you show, appreciation by tipping the driver and stuff like that, which is, is appreciated. But it's like the price that we're being worked at is just not worth it, and what we as drivers think that we should do is just acquire the customer, personally, because that way the money that we're using as our services is actually going towards us and not undercutting us. Because that's what we're being done, is we're being overworked and being undercut. Like, just like how at a W-2 job, most people would be like, their pay is decreasing, or their expenses are increasing, but their pay is staying stagnant, and I'm quite sure a lot of W-2 people feel that, because it's happening in reality, where your expenses are increasing, but your pay isn't, what I'm saying? And then it's causing a really big strain on the fact that you can't afford to operate, your monthly costs. That's your housing, that's your food, that's your clothing, what I'm saying? All that stuff like that. You can't use any money to get anything that you need in necessity. It's the same thing with doing a business. If we're not getting paid enough to operate, then we won't be in business. That's why businesses close, because they can't suffice their operating costs. Everything is not paying for what it needs to be, what it needs to pay for. So if you can't do that, you won't be in business. And that's exactly what's happening now, where we are small businesses, because we are independent contractors. We work for ourselves. We file 1099s at the end of the year. We don't file W-2s, even though we do pay taxes at the end of the year, just like every other business. We pay taxes at the end of the year, unless you have crazy write-offs that you don't have to pay as many taxes or whatever, or you don't have to pay taxes at all. But we, as Uber drivers, DoorDashers and stuff like that, we have a 1099 that we file at the end of the year to show our income, and then the IRS, sees how much taxes we need to pay based on how much deductions we have and stuff like that, based on business expenses that we can file to decrease our taxable revenue, or our taxable income or whatever. There's different terms to it or whatever for business, but but that's basically what it means, is that you reduce, the 1099s that we file at the end of the year aren't the same as a W-2, where we already have taxes taken out, because we don't have taxes taken out on our 1099s. The IRS has to quote unquote figure out how much we owe, which they know that how much we owe, but we get to, as businesses, write stuff off because we operate our own, as our own entity or whatever, or something like that. We don't get taxed at the end of the year, so we get the leisure of having write-offs that, greatly decrease the amount of taxes that we pay into the bucket, I want to say. But yeah, we're not regular employees. We are our own small businesses. But my biggest gripe, like I said, is that we need to be paid fairly, and we need to be paid enough to even operate, and as if I'm quite sure the people that listen to this video have used Uber, or are an Uber driver or something like that, or use Lyft or use DoorDash or something like that. And it's not that, we're trying to be, rich off of, what we do. A lot of us enjoy what we do. Some of us are in like a transitioning period because of the fact that, we got laid off or something like that, off of work or something like that. So we're using this to get by. But a lot of times, a lot of us, chose this because it's our closest thing to freedom that we have, and if we can make $50,000 doing this rather than the job that, that just let us, go or something like that, or, $50,000 doing this, rather than a job that we don't want to even be at, that causes so much stress and depression and, all these other types of emotional setbacks. We would rather do this instead, run our own business and get paid well for doing it and stuff like that, but we can't do that if we're being underpaid. And like I said, we're not trying to get rich off of it. We're trying to just get paid fairly, and unfortunately the Uber, DoorDash, and all of them are undercutting us. They're constantly always decreasing our base fare, constantly decreasing our base fare to increase profits. So then you guys as customers pay more and we get paid less, and it causes a big strain on you guys' pockets. And like I said before, gratuity is appreciated, but a lot of times it's like, what if you guys were only charged enough to actually suffice to pay us enough to do our job, and not you guys having to come out of pocket, 2 and 3 times the amount that you guys pay for the food orders, or 2 and 3 times the amount that you guys pay for a ride. Like, imagine only paying enough to, use the service to where it doesn't count as a loss to us as, a business, and it doesn't hurt you guys' pockets at all because you guys are using the service and it's fairly accounted for, or it's fairly valued to you guys. So like I said, it's not the fact that we're trying to get rich off of it. It's, us trying to operate to have a living, because we're not operating this to just smile and, wave, I guess, even though, we are, probably nice people and stuff like that, but we're not operating this to be at a charity. We're not operating this to, just for the heck of it, just because I want to put gas into my car and because I want to just drive my car into the ground. No, we actually try to do this to actually make a living just like the rest of everybody else. But we can't make a living if the apps aren't paying us, and then, unfortunately, because we have to rely on tips, because if we don't get tips, then we don't make our money, and we have to rely on the customer for that, So unfortunately it doesn't work in our favor for us to, for us as drivers in this economy right now, because of the fact that everything has to rely on the customer, and that's in my opinion, that's not fair at all. Like I said, that the fact that these companies are constantly underpaying us and they're screwing over us as the driver, which give the company money, and then they're screwing over the customer by making them overpay for a service and not paying the actual person that gives the service, So, like I said, it's just that understanding. So when you understand that, like, it's not us as drivers that are, potentially, like, just begging for more money so that we can, be, like rich or whatever or something like that. No, we're just trying to be paid fairly, because unfortunately we're being paid less and less day by day. Literally is what I'm showing you right now. We're being paid less day by day. And it's not getting any better right now, literally. Like I said, I don't have any surge. I don't get any promotions. I don't get any incentives at all. I don't get anything else at all, especially on Uber at all. I really don't. I don't get anything on DoorDash at all. DoorDash is still dead in Woodstock. It's booming everywhere else, it looks like. I mean, I don't trust it at all, because like I said, every time I go to another city, it's just me using gas. I might go to Kennesaw in a little bit, but like I said, so this is what I do whenever DoorDash, when I think DoorDash is acting up, right? You could do this on Android. I don't know about iOS and stuff like that, like Apple products, but I usually force stop the app, and then I'll open it again, just to see like if these are actual real like live screen data and stuff like that, so like I'll force stop the app and stuff like that, and then it'll refresh when I open it back up and stuff like that again, so it looks like it is live data that I guess Woodstock is not busy still, so I'm not even gonna bother that or whatever. Uber is still not doing nothing or whatever, so that's not working. Yeah, I forgot about Roadie. I completely threw that out the way. I completely forgot about that. 100%. The at home store, I'm not doing that at all. So somebody already got that order. But let's see. Yeah, I don't think that there's another one in the way. Forgot about Walmart Spark. I do have that or whatever, but that's like it is a once a week thing. But what I figured out with Walmart Spark is that there's two different types of earnings. So you can get earnings from, you can do direct deposit, and then it'll go to like the branch wallet or something like that, like the branch bank or whatever. Or you can get the Walmart One card, which is what I have. I had it when I worked at Walmart and stuff like that. I still have the card and stuff like that, so it makes it much easier on me and stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. And then you get it says that you confirmed trip earnings are deposited after every trip. So it's just like how when you do Uber and DoorDash and stuff like that, it's gonna, I guess, go directly into the account, so you don't have to wait a week at all, as long as you have the Walmart One card, which is I guess pretty cool. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I switched to like the weekly thing, but it's not supposed to register until next week, like Tuesday sometime or whatever. So after Tuesday of next week, it says that it's supposed to be depositing the amounts after every trip and stuff like that, which is cool with me. I'm just like, okay, cool, for sure. So I can't wait till that happens. But until now, I can't wait like a week for me doing money, using my gas and not getting paid right now, and then I'll get, I can't wait for that money right now, because unfortunately I'm not in a situation where I can wait for my money or whatever. So I have to get my money now, to afford the expenses I need to put out, and then worry about the other stuff that I can do, so then I can wait maybe a week for like pay and stuff like that. But that's the biggest difference, like when you're working at a W-2 job versus being your own business, where you get paid usually on the spot or after every job, versus working a regular job where you have to wait for your money and make it stretch and stuff like that. So it kind of hurts in that sense, like when you work for like an app that makes you have to stretch your money or whatever, or wait for your money or something like that, so it's kind of like working at a W-2 job. It's like I don't know, it's kind of shaky. It's putting me in the same predicament as a job. So you just, like I said, you pick your poison almost in a way. But yeah, That's pretty much it, though. Just explaining that, my nights are usually trashy. I don't make much at all most nights. Most nights it just goes to expenses and nothing else. So essentially, I'm just driving to pay for me to work because there's no money out there. But still looking for more contracts to sign or whatever to see, like, what else I can do. Not just relying on Uber and just, trying to stay in this situation. But also finding new contracts are not the easiest things to find either, because of, everybody else still has the same idea of, okay, well, I'm gonna find new contracts, and then the other things that you find or whatever are always full. They're oversaturated. They have long wait lists and shit. So, you're like, God damn, like, how am I ever gonna make this money for real? Like, I'm trying to make some money, but like the money isn't trying to come to me, so, and then at the, I want to say, like, it's like the worst thing, but like when you can't afford your own business, you have to go and work for somebody else again. So, and the reason why you started your own business is to get away from that. And when you have to go back, it's like that feeling of failure, starting all over, working for somebody else, being on their time, and worrying about if you're gonna get laid off again, or if you're gonna get fired, you're gonna have to worry about write-ups and stuff like that. All these different factors and stuff that you don't have to worry about in your own business. The only thing that you have to worry about is, like, making sure the customer's satisfied. So your only write-up is, a bad review that will affect your business possibly, or you being laid off or fired is, you not having any more customers at all. That's the only thing that affects you as a business. But if you have everything in order, where you have all your customers and all your customers are satisfied, your business is always going to flourish pretty much. There's very little reason of why your business might go out of business. There is some reasons why it can still go out of business, but the reasons are kind of low. If you have those two main things in check, which is you have your customer base and you have satisfied customers. So as long as you have those two main ingredients, you should be okay. But like I said, the worst case scenario, where you're in a predicament like this where you're not making enough money, you'd have to go and work for somebody else, which, like I said, is it can be a worst case scenario predicament, but it gets you your money that you're already missing in your business. And that's what I'm thinking about doing also at the same time, because of the fact that there isn't enough contracts for me to find to try to see how I can replenish my money faster. But worst case scenario is that, just going back to a regular job. So, it'll give me money or whatever. It's cool. I just have to figure out another way, after I do it like that. But, living like this, where, like, you're not making any money and you're just hurting yourself and digging yourself in a deeper hole than you already are, is not helping either. So, like I said, it's like just picking your poison for real. Like, if you feel that you can grind out the fact that, your business isn't doing too well, or like, if you're, Uber driver, DoorDash driver, stuff like that, and you're not doing too well and you feel like you can grind it out and stuff, then that's kudos. But if you're already in a predicament where, like, you're not making any money and, bills are stacking up, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like push comes to shove, and you're gonna have to shove, you know what I'm saying, like, just to get these bills down. Like, push and shove, goddamn, so yeah, that's pretty much it that I have to say. Just my shitty market, really. It's just really shitty right now, for real. The airport's not looking too bad. They look like they have it under control, but they still have way too many cars in the queue. Way too many cars in the queue for this many amount of flights. Way too many cars in queue still. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's 6:07 p.m. Almost been an hour. I mean, it's like 15 minutes that I've been recording, so it's almost gonna be an hour. Of me just sitting here, literally at my house. I'm in my car right now, but I'm literally in my neighborhood, in my apartment complex, recording this video right now, or this recording, I guess I want to say, a video recording or whatever. But and this just shows literally that you'll be sitting around and just waiting for, like I said, your opportunity to come around so you can make your money. Like I said, just in America alone right now, for a $1,700 a month apartment, you would need to make $60,000 a year, which equates to about $5,000 a month, or $27 to about $30 an hour. That's really what that equates to. So if you tell me, that, all I can do is just accept every order, and I can just drive around aimlessly and stuff like that, and just accept, just crazy amounts or whatever, that would be crazy to me. I would need to be making $27 to $30 an hour smartly, because I have expenses, not me just driving my car into the ground. I can't really look towards me, buying another car and stuff like that. Me, just not having enough money for whatever I need and stuff like that, because of the fact that I'm putting out more money than what I'm getting, in return. But like I said, you need $60,000 just alone just to afford usually around that price. $1,700 is usually a 1-bedroom apartment. Literally, you need $60,000 a year to just afford a $1,700 apartment, right? That doesn't include everything else in life. So really, you need maybe another $20,000, so about $80,000 to live almost comfortably, to afford everything, which includes, your $1,700 apartment. Not everybody makes $80,000 a year to afford that. You guys can do the math, you guys yourselves, but that's what reality is. And that's just, I don't know how many people can live off of 80,000, how much you can stretch 80,000, towards, I guess, however big a family is. It's like that. I haven't broken that down, but for a 1-bedroom, I mean, the most you can do is 2 people. So I guess I want to say 2 people at 80,000. I mean, I guess that's okay. I mean, but at most, at least it's one person. So 80,000 for one person is pretty decent or whatever. It'll get you by. I think for 2 people, cause a little bit of a, maybe a situation, just depending on how much, you guys' expenses are, but that's pretty much it though. But like I said, you need $60,000 a year to even just afford just a 1-bedroom, at $1,700 a month, right? That just makes you think we as business owners need to be making at least $27 to $30 an hour, or even more, and we can't do that by doing stuff like this, It's just not worth it at all. But I'm gonna end the recording here. It's 6:11 p.m. and it's still December 6th. I guess I'll just show you guys along the way, however much money I do make, I guess, today, if I do even make anything. So we'll see. Alright, everybody. So the time right now is 8:19 p.m. and it is December 6th, and it's still a Wednesday. Same Wednesday as it was earlier. I think it was 2 or 3 hours earlier that I recorded the other video. Something like that. I recorded at 5 or 6 o'clock think so. I don't know. I had to check the video earlier. But it's been, from whenever I last recorded the other video, it's been 2 or 3 hours or whatever. So I went from Woodstock all the way to, I'm in Kennesaw right now, as you can see. So there's Kennesaw. I'm in my little favorite spot over here off Ernest West Barrett Parkway or whatever. So that's where I'm at in Kennesaw. And I'm just now waiting for, yet again, the business to hit. Like I said, I'm not trying to travel way too far and like use as much gas as I've been doing and stuff like that. And usually whenever I do that, I mean, I usually don't make any money anyway because there's still not anything going on. And this is like I said before on all my other videos, this is an every single day thing, almost. Literally, I want to say 90% of my days is like this. 90% of my days is literally like this every single day, right? You know, it just comes back and bites me because, you know, if I go all around like the city from, you know, like I said, Kennesaw to, or Woodstock where I live to Kennesaw, you know, then Marietta, then Smyrna, then down to like Atlanta sometimes or whatever, or like, you know, and I'll go up to like Buckhead sometimes or whatever. You know, I'll make my way up to like Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, because all those areas used to be good. Like they used to, and it was cool to like kind of travel to those areas before. And like sometimes the dead miles would kind of like pay for themselves. Like back in 2020 and 2019 where like it really, like you could use it to like, you know what I'm saying, get to know the city and stuff like that. So you could really not really care about the dead miles. But like now that you have to care about the dead miles, you know what I'm saying? It's just like it bites you in the end because you're using more gas and you're not going to make the money. But like before, you could like literally, the way I used to do it before was that, you know, I wanted to get to know the city. So that's how I did it was, you know, I'd love to transition to a new city to know like, you know, what the new layout was. But then at the same time, I was always, it wasn't a miss, or it wasn't even like 5 minutes before I got a new, like a good ass order before. And so even though like, I was taking, you know, $1 a mile, like, and this was like years ago, like when I first started back in like 2019, so I didn't know much about the industry or whatever, so I started to learn a little bit more in like 2020, but, you know, now I'm learning a lot more now, or whatever. I still don't know everything, and I'm still not the, you know what I'm saying, the best driver out here that's making the most money by far at all, right? What I can say is that, you know, like I have learned a lot of like my city and stuff like that by basically, you know, like doing the dead miles of like, you know, like I said, this was before, so I didn't have to worry about a lot of the dead miles because I was like, you know, I'm learning the new layout, and then plus I'm always getting, you know, an order that was like really reasonable that was always paying me, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, shoot, I really don't care about, I didn't really care about it at all. You know, I wasn't really big on like, I mean, you know, gas and stuff like that, like, you know, knowing about a lot of my expenses, but I was like, I'm getting paid, you know, and I'm also learning my city and stuff like that, you know, not saying that I shouldn't have been more, but like I said, I started back in 2019 and I was doing this back in 2020 when I was just, you know what I'm saying, still learning out layouts of the cities and stuff like that. And, you know, I was like, you know, I'm getting paid really well. I mean, it was a pandemic, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then also pre-pandemic, because I started back in like November or December. I think it was December of 2019 or whatever. That's shitty right there. But, you know, everybody knows that when the pandemic hit, you know what I'm saying, it was money everywhere. So it really didn't even matter for, you was going to get paid what, like, it didn't even matter for real. But, like, there were people that capitalized off it a lot more. And I, unfortunately, didn't know how to capitalize off of it very much because I was still taking, like, dollar a mile stuff and stuff like that. You know, I was listening to the people on, like, the dollar a mile mantra back then and shit. So I didn't know no better. So I didn't get to capitalize off of it as much as I, you know, wish I would have. So I was like, you know, people were making like thousands a week while I was making hundreds a week still. Like maybe even 1,000 a week, I think so. But I wasn't doing it all the way right. But at the same time, my expenses wasn't too bad at the same time either. So even though I was only making that amount, it still covered everything I needed to cover, especially since it was a pandemic and I was getting like money from, like just doing Uber and stuff like that, like crazy tips everywhere and stuff like that. So, it was just like money from everywhere. So I was like, doing pretty okay for, what I knew. Like I said, I didn't know everything back then, but I was like, from what I did know, this is shittier. And this is what I've been dealing with, for the last 2 to 3 hours. So, can't really help it. But, it's cool stuff or whatever. But now, like I said, the dead miles really will bite you now. Like, you can't do too many dead miles. I definitely know I can't do too many dead miles because, like I said, like, these orders are just so shitty for real. And like I said, you can't be paying to work. You have to be paid to work. You know what I'm saying? Me paying to work is me taking that offer that was like $3 for 6 miles. I would be literally paying to work. Literally, I am using a gallon of 6 miles. I mean, it's not a gallon. I'm sorry, my bad. I misspoke. But I'm using more of my time, more of my miles to get less money. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you work for less? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you purposely put yourself in a predicament to, like, let's say your pay rate is like what, like $15, $18, $20 an hour. It doesn't matter. Like, you can say your pay rate is like $50 an hour, but imagine if your boss came to you and said, but you know what, today we're gonna pay you, let's say you're getting paid $50 an hour. Let's say your boss came to you and said, but today I'm gonna pay you $25 an hour, right? Let's say you get paid $15, or $20 an hour. Let's say, your boss, if you're getting paid $15, let's say your boss came to you and said, we're gonna pay you, I don't know, I want to say like $12 or like, $11 an hour today. Or like if you're getting paid $20, we're going to pay you like $15 an hour today. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's exactly what, but the catch to it is that you don't just do your original tasks. You do that and more, right? That's what we're doing as independent contractors if we're taking on, orders like that where it's like $3 for 6 miles. Because guess what? A lot of times the customer's going to want extra this and extra that and stuff like that. You're going to have to go around loopholes, traffic and waiting at the restaurant and stuff like that. So it's a lot of like different factors that go into play when we look at these prices and stuff like that. And we're like, okay, well, we're not being compensated enough for like this amount of time. And, you will like fuck around and find out, like, just to be blunt, you will fuck around and find out that, a lot of times when you do stuff like that, you're on the back end of being, like shitted on for real. Because like I said, a lot of times, because of the fact that, the price is what it is and stuff like that, you're not going to get any more. You're going to be on the back end for the fact that you just waited at the restaurant for like 30 minutes for $3. And then you have to, drive, another 10 minutes to the customer. So you just did 40 minutes for $3. Because like I said, you are 100% in this economy right now not guaranteed for a tip at all. Like, even thinking about a tip or getting a tip or whatever is not even fathomable. Like, you that should not even be in your consensus of even thinking that. Once you see a price on this screen right here, just know that that is what you are going to be paid. There is a slight, like, I mean very slight, like I'm talking about at this point like 25% chance that amount that you're gonna see on your screen is gonna be different than what you originally accepted. Like, there's a 25% out of 100%. Like, that means that there's a 75 percent loss of the fact that you're not gonna get that extra tip. Like, so that percentage wise, when you think about it, you just know that there's a big possibility that you're not going to get any extra money from it. Just know that, you know, whatever you see on the screen is what you're going to get, and you're not going to get any extra, because fortunately today's economy or whatever, where not a lot of money is being circulated anymore. You know, not a lot of people can put out money and stuff like that, and not a lot of people is putting out money, like, you know, job wise and stuff like that, where jobs aren't paying as much or wanting to pay at all and stuff like that. So, you know, $5 for 7 miles, that's dumb. I'm not doing that. For some alcohol, that's what they want, some alcohol, bro. And look at that, 27 minutes for $5. Who is going to do this, right? Like I said, this doesn't even account for wait time. I picked up from here, wait time is already about 15 minutes. So, and then you also have to drive 7.7 miles, which can equate, like I said, it just depends, but 7 miles can equate to about a nice little 15 more minutes. So you just wasted 30 minutes for $5, literally. Like I said, the amount that you see on the screen is the amount that you're going to get. If we were in a more sure economy, like maybe back in the pandemic time or whatever, you know, like maybe you might bat an eye and be like, you know what? There's a really, really hot, like a 75% chance that I'll get like a tip with this, like a I don't know, I want to say like $20 tip with this or something like that. So yeah, I mean, the low dollar amount doesn't even matter for, I'm gonna get a tip to offset the amount that, you know, anyway, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you might take it or whatever, but in today's economy or whatever, the amount that you see is the amount that you're gonna get, and that's point blank period, for real. Like, so if you take that amount, you're just playing yourself. Like, these orders is shitty right here. $7 for 8 miles at the top. That's pretty shitty right there. $2 for 3.5 miles. That's pretty shitty right there. You know, all this stuff is operated at a whole like loss, for real. I'm just really confused, you know, like just how this happens like every day, every single day. You know, I go out, think that I'm gonna make some money or whatever, and then, you know, turns out that I'm actually not. I'm just gonna be out just in my car, which is my favorite thing to do, but, you know, I'm not making any money with it. So I'm like, what the fuck? So, like I said, can't really say much. And why would I shop at Target for 24 minutes for $4? Like, it's one item, but why would I do it for $4, bro? Why would I do that for $4, bro? Come on. Target orders at that amount, bro, would be paying $10, $12. Like, I would not mind to do that for $10 or $12. Like, I've done it before. They literally paid that amount before. $10 or $12 will get you by to shop for you for your order. It will literally get you by. I would do it. I'm like, okay, cool. I can make a little easy $10 or $12. That's fine. I'll do that. But like for $4, bro, for like over 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Waiting in line and even trying to find, no. I'm sorry, man. I can't do that. Come on now. $4 for that, bro. We just gotta do better, man. I don't know, man. It's just, like I said, sometimes I don't blame the customer, but sometimes, like, I'm just like this, where it's just like, God, the barrier for just the money is just like, how are we even bidding these amounts? Like, guys, if we, like I said, I don't know if Uber is just hiding the tips from us now, because DoorDash used to do that before. Like, DoorDash used to hide the tips, and they still do hide the tips from us sometimes. So I don't know if that's Uber's new thing, where they're hiding tips from us now, or these are actually the actual upfront fares that they're actually showing us. But like, as a customer, like, if we can't really like afford to like show gratuity or like appreciation towards a driver, do we need to really be ordering? And that's like not even like a shot at you guys as customers. Like, I'm not putting anybody down, but I'm like, if I don't have, like, the way I think about it is, because even though I do, you know, Uber and I do DoorDash and I do all that stuff like that, but, you know, in the back of my mind, you know I do it and I want to be tipped and stuff like that, I show the same reciprocation when I use the apps like DoorDash or Uber and stuff like that. I make sure that I know that my driver is getting paid really well, because I know what they have to go through. I know, you know what I'm saying, it's not just go to the restaurant, pick up the order, and then bring it to my house. It's, you know, try to go to the restaurant without getting hit. Go to the restaurant, wait in line, you know, for customers ordering and stuff like that are, you know, already ahead of you. You know, people doing crazy stuff and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The restaurant, like, some of the workers ignore you and stuff like that, you know. And then it's, you know, get the order finally after waiting maybe like 15 minutes. Get out the restaurant, go into your car, go back into traffic, try not to get hit, and then you know what I'm saying, deliver your order and stuff like that. You know, all for what is it, $4, right? It's not really worth it at all. Like, you know, I'm just not understand, like, the time to, like, I don't know these orders are just, like, these are blowing me for real. Like, I just don't understand this at all. Like, these shits is blowing me, bro. Like, come on. But, like, the trade-off for, like, your time and, like, efforts and stuff like that, for, like, the little amount of money that we're getting, bro, is just not it. You know, and like I said, it's not a shot to, like, customers, but like I said, sometimes I blame the customer, but sometimes I don't. But, like, whenever I see, like, stuff like this, and if it is, like, customers that, like, so the rides part, I don't blame the customer usually at all. Like the only thing I can blame the customer for is, like, if they're rude, or, like, you know, if they're, like, not very no, I'm not doing that. If they're not very, like, respectable, or, like, respective of, like, your property and stuff like that. So, like, if they're slamming doors and shit as usual, or, like, you know what I'm saying, like, they just got, like, hella mud on their feet and they're dirtying up your rugs and stuff like that, and, like, kicking stuff, and, like, I just don't understand, like, how, like, every time I clean up my car, because I detail my own car or whatever and stuff like that, you know, but, like, every time it seems like every time there's a passenger in my back, like, my back seats are always muddy and shit like that. I'm just like, how is that even possible? Like, you got mud on your shins and shit? Like, how is that even possible? Like, how do you get mud on your shins? Like, how are we putting shoes on the seats? You know what I'm saying? Like, or like, how do you have that much dirt on your body? Like, what are you going through, man? Like, I know there's dirt in the air, there's debris in the air, but goddamn, like, you just must be, like, some type of magnet for just dirt, like, just dirt. I don't know, either that, or, like, we're just not washing our legs at all. Like, I seen a video on YouTube where motherfuckers is saying, don't wash your legs, and I'm like, motherfuckers might be taking that into consideration, where they're not washing their legs at all anymore. I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? So, you know, I always find that's, like, you know, kind of crazy or whatever, that people don't be washing their legs or something like that. I really don't want to have to take this order for real, bro. Like, because I'm just like, it's cool, it's paying a good dollar amount, like a dollar per mile amount, but whatever, man. I'm just gonna take it, and I'm gonna see how. Okay, I was about to say the system glitched again, but I'm about to take it and just see how long it takes me to, you know what I'm saying, get this, because usually a lot of times Chick-fil-A has the order ready and shit like that, so I'm just be like, all right, you know, I'm gonna just see how long it takes or whatever. So I'll just let you guys know. So right now it's like 8:38 p.m. I'll just see how long it takes, you know, from then to, you know, pick up to drop off. So, all right, guys. All right, so it is 8:54 p.m. and it's still December the 6th. What's it called? Oh, that was nothing. So I just finished that order, and I think I took it at 8:38 p.m. So it took me around, what is it? Yeah, 8:50. So it's like almost 20 minutes. Let me just get that correct, right? So that's like, what is it? Hell no. 54 minus 38 is around 16 minutes. So it took me 16 minutes to do that order for like $6, but then the base pay was like $2. So then that means that the customer only tipped like $4. So I guess that's another thing to kind of keep in mind too is that like when you do take these little orders, just know that the base fare is already $2. So if you get tip baited, just know you're only gonna get $2. Just know that. I just want you guys to know that, okay? So now that we know that $2 is the base fare for a lot of these orders, just know that if you get tip baited, you're only gonna get $2. So, all I have to say is take it at your own risk. May the odds be forever in your favor. But yeah. Anyway, I'm about to go to my little spot, and just chill or whatever, and just see what else comes down the pike or whatever. Because there's been nothing good coming down anyway. Bro, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like every time, like, and that order was just like $6 for 2 miles. And you remember how I was saying, like in the video earlier, that the algorithm is going to try to play you to see how low they can get you, right? Every time, right? They just gave me the same stuff for $6 for about 2 miles, right? Why are they giving me the same thing $5 for 2 miles? Right? And it's not even the fact that, oh, it's just $1 less. No, listen, they're trying to always bet you lower than the last time that they gave you the offer. They could have literally gave me $6 for the same 2 miles, but they didn't. Like, if the algorithm really wanted to really, like, learn me, it would understand that you just gave me $6 for 2 miles. So learn that, and learn that I want another $6 for 2 miles. Learn I want maybe $10 for 2 miles. But then the algorithm, like I said, they want to make their profits. So now they're going to bet me lower than they just did last time. You know what I'm saying? So $6 for 2 miles. Now they're trying to offer me $5 for 2 miles. It's crazy that they do that, but it's literally what I've shown you on my screen, that they're trying to always bet you lower than they just did the last time. Right? It's a crazy situation. Just like I said, I'm showing my screen now so you guys can, be more, with me, like with the fact that, you're seeing what I see, just not doing as maybe I do, in the sense of, the fact of not making any money. I want you guys to make money and stuff like that, unlike how I'm unfortunately doing. But, just seeing what I see pretty much at this point, that's what I just record these videos for, is just so you can see what I see. And it's just really fucked up. But yeah, for real, I'm just, like I said, just gonna chill over here in my little spot or whatever until I get something else, and hopefully, they're not gonna bet me any lower than they just did before, because I'm super tired, man. I really am. When this is what a 40-hour long work week looks like, where you're just sitting around and just being toyed with at all times of the day, you know what I'm saying? It gets really annoying. When you catch on to the games, like I said, it's every time like this, for real. And it's they just sit and wait and shit like that. I don't know. But also, oh snap, I didn't even know I had a 0% AR. That's kind of weird, I guess. I don't know how I have 0% when I just completed an order or whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. I probably have like 0.5% AR, because that's what they usually do, right? So let me see something. I'm about to pull over here real quick, and let me just see something, because I don't know why it says 0%, because I just completed something, so I don't know. But let me get over here in my spot. Bed Bath and Beyond is just, I feel bad for them, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. But, you know, every business is kind of having a little thing going on and shit. So, you know, guess it is what it is at this point. So, but let's see what my actual. Ooh, let me park this a little bit more. Let's see what my actual AR is. 0% doesn't seem very real, I guess, in a sense, because like I said, I just completed something. So it's actually at 1%. So out of, so I guess I accepted 2 orders or whatever. I don't know when I last accepted the other one, but I mean, I guess out of 100, out of 200, so 198 orders that come to me are really, really bad. You know, as you can see on my screen, that's compiled over the days and days and days of declining. And then especially when you're just like online, just declining all the horrible orders that you see on my screen, you know, that number kind of adds up to that or whatever. So I mean, and this kind of like proves of how I don't make any money, because of the fact that like they don't send me anything that's even worth my time in a profit sense, you know. So I'm just like, wow, you know, you'll see that they keep offering me, you know, the lowest amount of orders for just not enough money, you know what I'm saying? Like just high miles, low money, you know, high miles, you know, the money is okay, but it's like you're still assessing the fact that you're still gonna put in more time. Like the time is going crazy. So like with the high miles, you're putting in still more time, even though the money might look good and shit. So it's like, you know, am I gonna really do this? Like this, you know, what, like sometimes it'd be like 16 miles for maybe like $30, but then, you know, or not even 16 miles for $30, because that's actually pretty decent, I guess. I mean, it's $2 a mile. Nope, that is a no. That's under $1 a mile. But like, let's say it's like something like I don't know, $16 for like what I want to say, like 10 miles, I want to say, right? So it's like a high dollar a mile. Oh no, $2. Is that like, no, it's $1 a mile, because like $2 a mile would be like $8 for like 8 miles for like $16 or whatever, something like that. So like $10 would be like a high dollar a mile ish, kinda. But like something like that, and then, you know, you'll do like you'll see the time or whatever come across the screen, and it would be like, you know, 30 minutes or like 40 minutes or something like that, and you're like, ooh, that time is like kind of scary for real, because I mean, I'm using a lot of my time to make this money and stuff like that. And when you're trying to do, you know, make your hourly, you know what I'm saying, like I said, in order to make 60,000, you need to be making at least, you know, 27 to 30, but most people aim for 40 and stuff like that to offset, you know, everything else, you know, that you need for extra expenses. Because like I said, 60,000 gets you just the apartment itself at $1,700 a month, right? Like how I said before, just 60,000 gets you an apartment. You know, not, you know, in this economy, that's what a 1-bedroom runs you, especially out here in Atlanta, because Atlanta wants to be the new California or some shit like that. I don't understand that at all, but Atlanta wants to be the new Cali. I'm not with that at all, because it was so easy to find an apartment for like $900, $800, $600 and shit like that before. Like, you know, sometimes the prices reflect like the area that you're gonna be in a lot of times. So like a lot of like the, you know, I guess I want to say lower income to like the areas that aren't really the safest, you could find the better rents there, you know, because, you know, at the same, because while you're getting less rent to pay or whatever, you're using that same trade-off for like your safety. So I mean, as long as you know how to, you know, do some like hand-to-hand combat, or like, you know, you got some type of protection on you, you know, you're exercising your your amendment, you know, I would say, you know, possibly stay out of those types of areas. But but if you know how to do hand-to-hand combat, you know how to exercise, you know, your amendment, then I mean, I guess, you know, more power to you, and I hope for you the best, for real. Like I said, those areas can be kind of grimy, but you know, nowadays even those areas has gone up. So like the minimum now in those areas for like a 1-bedroom is like 1,300-1,400 and stuff like that. So, you know, same area that used to be 600 for a 1-bedroom is now 1,300-1,400. That's 2 times the amount that it used to be just years ago, you know. So, and it's crazy because rent is not supposed to go up that much, like in, you know, that short of a time span, but it has because of these magical inflation numbers that just happen out of nowhere and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't make any sense, but I guess it does to the people that want their money. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, you know, it just doesn't make any sense, you know, of how, you know, shit's going for real. Like, just how we're getting paid less and we're working more doesn't make any sense, especially on my end, where it's like, you know, you guys just see on my screen where, you know, I'm just, and it isn't just me or whatever. Like I said, I'm just showing you guys what I deal with on a daily basis. There's probably like somebody, you know, there's probably people that are in an even worse predicament. I mean, I'm not saying all my life issues on here or whatever and stuff like that, you know, because I do have, like, you know, some life stuff going on and stuff like that. But this is just one of my life issues right now, you know, so I'm just sharing just something with you guys to show you guys what I deal with on a daily basis. And then also this should be like an enlightenment to, like, you know, customers that don't know what's going on, you know what I'm saying, like that, you know, that place orders for their food to, like, you know, get delivered, and, you know, they don't understand why their order takes so long to get delivered, you know, it's, or like, you know, they don't know why, you know, it's so hard for them to catch an Uber because, you know, like I said, the prices are just not paying. They're not, Uber and Lyft and DoorDash are just, they're undercutting us. So every time they do that, it makes it harder on you guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody's getting screwed at some point. Like, it's just like this whole screwy situation, you know, and it all comes out of the customer's pockets. You know, the customer feeds everybody. The customer feeds the company, us as a driver. The customer also feeds, you know, the shareholders that have a part in, you know what I'm saying, the percentage that they take from the cut, you know what I'm saying, of the company. You know, lots of stuff that, like, the customer has to pay for, and it just gets, like, kind of unfair at a certain point in this game because, like, the customer can only do so much. If you're draining the customer for everything, like, where else are you gonna, like, get the money if the customer runs out of the fucking money? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but I guess greed doesn't kind of, like, register in that way. Greed just says take, you know, until you can't take anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I don't know. That's just my thing. You know, I just don't understand that in a way. Like I said, there's some things that just aren't fair, you know, in this gig industry world, you know, but there are some things that were, like, you know, like I said, when even a customer says that, you know, they'll give you cash or they'll tip you and stuff like that, you know, a lot of customers, they'll lie to you in your face and they don't give you shit, you know. And like I said, you know, you're not entitled to a tip, but, like, it's about the integrity, it's about the moral, you know what I'm saying, the principle of the situation. Like, if you say that you're going to do something, have the integrity to stand behind what you're going to say you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of customers might argue the fact, okay, well, I don't want to tip until after I get my service because, you know, a lot of times, you know, in the service industry, you tip after you get the service, right? You know, like if you're at a restaurant or something like that, you know, wherever else that they accept tips and stuff like that, you tip after you receive the service. I mean, sometimes you could tip before or whatever. I mean, but, you know, a lot of times there's not really a reason that you would tip before. But, you know, you can if you want to, if you like to give away, you know, kind of like free money, you know, you're just feeling very generous as a donation to somebody or something like that. I guess that's cool. But in this industry, we're like, you have to tip before you get your order because the company Uber Eats is trying to offset the fact of, like, that they're not going to give us any extra money, so it has to come from you guys as a customer. It kind of makes it unfair for you guys, but at the same time, like, if you guys don't do it, then there's a possibility that you guys won't get your order. And I'm not saying that it's right at all, because I don't think that it is right. Like I said, I do agree with the fact that you should tip after the service, because even when I eat out, I tip after the service and stuff like that, because not everybody provides good service. Maybe the food isn't going to be the best or whatever, or something like that, so you never know. But I do agree with the fact that I usually would tip after the service. But like, I would say, if you possibly know where you're eating at, and you eaten at this place before and stuff like that, I would say that, once you got your grounds familiar with the fact that, okay, I know this place, I know that the food's good and stuff like that. Everybody that, gets my order from this place is usually pretty, well-mannered, and, like, they're going to always, treat me with respect and get my order to me. I would say, yeah, going ahead and tip before and stuff like that, because off of, recent evaluations of, like, ordering from this place before, you know that you're going to get good service. So, I would say take that into accountability, that, you can do it like that, where, like, based on prior, situations, that, like, you've always received good service. So why not tip before? But like I said, if you're trying something new or whatever, I understand the fact of, whatever, you don't have to tip. But like, if you're one of those customers that do tip after, or you do say that you're going to, give a tip, like, just be, like, one, like, with your word and stuff like that. Like, don't give false pretenses and stuff like that of, like, you're going to give this certain amount, but then you don't. That's lying. That's fraud in a way, too. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you're saying something, but then doing something completely different, and it's hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's really sad, the customers that do that and stuff like that, that lie, and that they're hypocrites and stuff like that. Like, that's crazy to me. So like I said, man, there's some things that are, like, acceptable, and there's some things that aren't acceptable. And one thing that isn't acceptable is lying, the stealing, just not holding up to, like, what you say, you know what I'm saying? Like, reporting people for, like, false reasons and stuff like that. I've heard of people reporting people for, like, false reasons and stuff. Like, it's crazy out here, so, just to get a free meal, you know what I'm saying? Like, just all that to report to get a free meal. There are some grimy customers out there, and it's really sad, right? There's people that will do anything, to get their way, even if it's not even the right way, you know what I'm saying? They'll lie, they'll steal, they'll cheat, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll do whatever it takes to get themselves, at a better, like, not even a better position, like, in the right way, but, like, in a better position in their own way of, like, just lying, stealing, and cheating. Like, and it's really sad, but karma does come back to those types of people, and I hope that it does come back to you in like tenfold of, like, whoever you treated bad like that, you know what I'm saying? Because, when you do bad, to somebody and stuff like that, that energy will definitely come back to you, you know what I'm saying? Especially if somebody treated you good and, treated you with respect, everything like that, and you just, shitted on a person for whatever reason because you're selfish, you're narcissistic or some shit like that. Like, you deserve all the horrible energy that's going to come your way. I'm just going to say that for real, But, just getting back on the topic about, just stuff like this is okay right here. I know Elm Street is up there in, like, Woodstock where I'm at, but I'm in Kennesaw right now. Why do they keep offering me, bro? I'm not picking up I'm not doing these alcohol orders, bro. I'm not doing these things, bro. No. Because, and alcohol orders can be very, very tricky, and, like, innocent in a way, because, like, people's IDs don't be going through, you know what I'm saying? Or people don't be answering the door for real, or, like, the numbers will, like, not go through at all. Like, I don't know how, like, you put fake numbers on the app or whatever and stuff, and then, like, you obviously can't leave alcohol at the door, you know what I'm saying? Because, you can't give it to, an underage person and stuff like that, right? So, you have to, if you can't deliver it to the customer successfully, you're gonna have to, obviously return it back to the store, unfortunately, or whatever, so, alcohol orders can get very tricky. And I learned that the hard way about delivering one alcohol order where, like, just the customer just didn't want to answer. Their number was turned off or disconnected or some shit like that. And then the customer was, like, I guess trying to, like, get me to leave it at the door. And I was just like, hell no, I'm not taking a whole felony for no, I'm not taking a felony for that. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not doing that. But, like I said, and it comes back to the fact that customers are trying to cheat, steal, and lie. Like, they'll cheat, steal, and lie, and you'll be on the back end for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're, like, putting alcohol at the door and not getting, like, verification that the person's old enough, people will get you in trouble for that. Like, imagine if there's somebody that understands that, like, underage people shouldn't be drinking, or, like, somebody sees that, like, you just gave alcohol to, like, an underage person, you know what I'm saying, and they report you, that's your ass. That's a whole felony for you, you know what I'm saying, for like, literally giving alcohol to an underage person, So, I mean, but, yeah, this right here is a little bit too far. This is like a low, like, dollar a mile, like, low dollar a mile. I'm not trying to go all the way out there to, like, Woodstock and stuff, so I'm gonna decline that respectfully, right? And yeah, do with that. That's cool. I guess I get that. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill on my little spot over here or whatever, and just see whatever else comes down the pike. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully I can make at least, I don't know, at this rate, it's like the hardest thing to even make $100 for real. Like, this is what, like I said, this is what I deal with every night. So that's what I deal with every night. Do not understand why, but this is what I deal with every night. There's an event downtown. It's the Atlanta Hawks. So our professional basketball team is playing. Yay. That's cool. Oh my God, look at that. At the airport. 270 cars, man. Look at that. Like, the ratio. Look at that, man. Just 99 flights to 2, and that's just Uber X cars. That doesn't even include the black SUVs. Look at the comforts. 185 comfort cars. Comfort Electric. Uber XL 115, bruh. Bro, like, these numbers, bro, you're gonna be at the airport until the next day. Tiger Sugar. I mean, I'm right by it. Another 15 minutes for $6. Oh my God, why the fuck not? Wow, this is some bullshit, bro. Every time, bro. Like, you can't, and it's a decent, $2 a mile. But, God damn, man. Shit. Oh, okay. Let me just pick up this order for real and just see how it goes, because I'm so tired of, like, seeing these single digit orders, bro, that used to be paying like $10 to do these same things, bro. Like, it's crazy, but let's just see how it goes. Alright, so, and that's a no for sure. It's 9:21 p.m. On Wednesday. It's the 6th still, but that order is trash. But yeah, that Tiger Sugar order that I was supposed to get or whatever just randomly canceled. But I figured out that they canceled it because the place is already closed. So, there's that, and I'm not gonna get anything extra for that, because of the fact that the place is closed. So, it's whatever, I guess. But now we play the waiting game yet again. Yet again. Oh my god, man. This almost makes you just hate your life. I swear. Ah. Yeah. This shit is crazy right here, though. You know, just. I guess the only fun thing about it is that, you know, you get to play with the screen or something like that, you know, whenever you're bored. Or you get to read a book, you know, be in the own solitude of your car, you know, listen to music or whatever, you know. Other than that, you know, it's just like waiting for, you know, slow ass money to come along. You know, I'm probably just gonna read the book that I've been reading, which is like what is it, Money, Master the Game by like Tony Robbins. It's actually a really good book though, actually, you know. I like the way that Tony Robbins writes. He keeps it very interactive with you. So like the way that I guess like this book is written, it's almost like you're at one of his like what I want to say, like one of his like not stand-ups or whatever, because I don't he doesn't do like stand-up comedy or whatever, but like, I want to say like one of his like speeches or something like that, or like, you know, like you're right there talking to him. Like that's the way that he writes. Like it's almost like you're actually there talking to him, you know, like right there, like, you know, like you're actually talking to him. I can't explain it, but you know, if you ever read the book Money, Master the Game, you'll see what I'm saying. It's like I said, it's almost as if he's actually talking to you, like sitting there talking to you, like having a regular conversation and shit. So if you ever want to check out that book, it's actually pretty good. I mean, it'll teach you, like, you know, a lot of like the ways of like money. I haven't gotten too far. I've read about like, let me see, how many pages have I read? It's actually really good. I just haven't been like reading it like all the way. Yeah, I read about like 64 or 65 pages, and the book has not including like these like the closing pages or whatever, like I don't know what are these, like the credit pages or something like that, like not credit as in like credit or whatever, but like, you know, the credits or whatever that they give to like, I don't know, like certain, you know, people at the end of the like a movie or something like that. I don't know, this book has about 600 pages or something. So about like 630, or what is it? Including the let me see, including like the credits in the back, it has a like 650. Yeah, the index all the way to like the index. I want to say, so all the way to like the index, it has 656 pages. So that means I have about 600 pages more to read in the book. You know, that includes like if I do look at the index and stuff like that, you know. But I mean, I'm like, you know, it's cool. I mean, I like the book, so it's not that hard of a task in a way. I'm just like, you know, because I read about a chapter each time I open up the book, and a chapter in the book is about, I want to say like hell no, for sure, that's a hell no. A chapter in the book is about like 15 pages, I want to say. Like, is it 15 pages or like 10 pages or something? I don't know, something like that. But yeah, it goes by really quickly because, like I said, it feels like, bruh, what the fuck, bruh? Like, if I just don't understand. You can offer me more for that, bruh. You're putting people in my car, and I was taking food for $6 for less miles, bruh. How, brother? No. Why? Like, you can offer me more money for that, bro. Like, come on, bro. You don't have to cheap out on every fucking thing, bro. Come on, for real. Y'all people at Uber suck, for real. Like, I swear to God, y'all suck. I swear. Y'all people at Uber suck ass. Like, I just don't understand, bro. But Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I'm just about to read a book to just pass time because this app is really it's really blowing me for real. Like I just don't understand, bro. It's giving me a headache and shit. Like I fatigue out every time I even open up the app and even try to think about, you know what I'm saying, getting to work, but it is what it is. I don't know. But yeah. Alright, I guess I'm gonna catch you guys later or something like that. It's 9:27 p.m. I guess I'll just, start recording whenever I get my next good order or something like that, or whenever I finish my next order to, let you guys know how it goes. Alright, so the time right now is 10:05 p.m. It's still December 6th. And I'm just showing you guys early from the last time I was recording or whatever. Like, this is the orders that this is the rides that it's showing me. Like, this is over 7 miles, 8 miles actually, for $5, bro. Like, 8 miles for $5. Like, come on, man. Like, and then they just offered me like $3 going 4 miles, bro. Like, to pick up people, like $3 for 4 miles. Like, I'm over here like reading my book and stuff like that, and just letting the app go. And, like I said, I'm in Kennesaw. I'm in, like, Ernest West Bears Parkway and stuff like that. Like, I'm on the strip where, like, like there's restaurants and, like, what I'm saying, everything's out here, right? I'm, like, right in the middle of everything. There's no way that I can't get anything or whatever. I'm in a pretty good spot, right? But I just don't understand, like, it's like wherever I position myself, it's never the right place. Like, $4 to go 2.8 miles. I just don't put anybody in my car for $4, bro. Like, you can get me to $10. It's been done before. I don't understand, like, what it is, bro. Like, why is it so hard, bro? I'm not working for $4, bro, and then not getting tipped on top of that, bro. Because the difference with, like, food delivery is that you can, you have, like, usually a higher percentage chance of getting tipped, usually before, because that's how people receive their orders, right? So you have a higher chance to get tipped, right? But when you're picking up people, you're definitely not entitled to getting tipped at all. Like, people are gonna have to really, really like you for real to even get tipped. You're gonna have to, like, be on your P's and Q's for sure, because the apps aren't offering you, like, they're not offering you shit. Like, look at this. It's like $3 for, what is it, like 2.2 miles. Like, bro, like, and like I said, a lot of these trips are not gonna tip. Like, so you're gonna be, and I'm not saying that to just say, like, look at this. This is over, what's that, 11, what's that, what's that, 9, 10, so that's like 10.1 miles for $6. What, bro? Like, and like, this is what I'm saying. Like, there are, like, the higher the dollars, the higher the miles, bro. Or even, no, bro. I just, no, bro. Like, or even the higher the miles, the lower the dollars. It's like you're always going to be literally working for fucking free, bro. Like, the shit's getting so old, bro. Like, I'm just not understanding, bro. Like one of my biggest things also is, like, how the fuck are people making like $1,000 a week like this, bro? Like, that's my whole thing. Like there's no way that everybody can get on, like, even though there might be, like, some, like, bad drivers that, don't know what they're doing maybe, but, like, the people that know what they're doing but still aren't getting the money, like, that's what I'm trying to understand. Like, how is that there's people that are making $1,000 a week or more, and then there's some drivers that aren't making $1,000 a week? Like, not saying that, that no, I'm not. No, that's those miles are just, no. That's crazy, bro. Come on, you can at least give me, bro. You're giving me $10 to do the more miles, but you can't give me $10 to do the lesser miles, bro. Like, that's what I'm not understanding. Like, what type of bullshit is that, bro? Like, you're still trying to give me the same trip, bro. I'm not doing it, bro. Like, I don't understand. Like, and like I said, you know, like these trips, bro, and you're still gonna offer it to me. Y'all are some, oh man. Wow. And then you're gonna offer me $3 for 9 miles. Oh my god, you're gonna think that that shit is good, bro. Oh my god. I must have to be in dreamland, bro. Wake me up, please. Please wake me up, bro, because I must be in fucking dreamland, bro. This can't be real, bro. Come on. But how in the world are people making $1,000 and more a week doing this shit, bro? Like, and I'm not even saying like, you know, like, you know, you're doing something on the side or something like that. You know, I'm talking about like, because I work the gig work, you know, like, you know, full time or whatever. You know, I'm a full time, you know, independent contractor and stuff like that, right? But even in a week, I mean, even on a good week that I've had before, like the most I can make is about 600 or 700, you know. So I'm just trying to understand how is people making, you know, 1,000, or if they're even touching like 1,200 or 1,400 a week. Like, that's what I'm trying to understand. You know, that's what I guess I can't understand. How are people doing that? You know, like what type of cheat codes do you guys have? Because I'm trying to like go into the controls and enter those. You know, I need the cheat codes at this point. You know, with the money that I'm making or the money that I'm not making, I need the cheat codes for real. Like, you know, up, down, left, right, A, B, you know what I'm saying? Clicking the triggers and stuff like that. Like, the cheat codes, bro. I just need the cheat codes. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, this shit is getting kind of annoying, bro. Like, I'm not making any money for real doing this stuff, bro. Like, it's charity, bro. Like, how are you supposed to be making money like this, bro? Like, you know, I got, business cards. I've been had business cards and stuff like that for like a business that I was trying to do, but you know, I'm handing them out or whatever, but you know, I still don't get any callbacks or whatever for customers. I guess customer retention or customer acquisition hasn't been going the best, I want to say. So don't know where to go from there, you know. And then you know, relying on a lot of these gig apps is just not the way. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to be making money if there's no money? Like, and like I said, I'm not showing you like a fraudulent screen where it's like these are just like you know, pre-recorded numbers from like, I don't know, I mean, in the future, or like pre-recorded numbers from like in the past. No, this is literally up to date 2023 numbers. December, like I said, so it's December the 6th, right? 2023, right? And it's 10:13 p.m., right? I always, you know, tell you guys the time and stuff like that, but it is the year of 2023, right? Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out, like, how are we making money if there's not no money on the apps? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not any money. Like, look at that, $6 for 21 miles, bruh. Like I said, the number that you're seeing on these screens, unless, and then also, like, what, like I said before, so base fare is already $2, right? So when you do like these food orders, base fare is already $2. So that means that the customer only tipped you $4.06 if you go out there and drive those 21 miles, my guy. Like, you only got tipped $4.06. I just want you guys to know that. Like I said, I literally just showed you guys on the Chick-fil-A order that I just had that base fare is $2. That's what they're gonna give you, and then the tip comes separately. So if you know how to calculate base fare, and then, you know, from the tip, just know that base fare is $2 to deliver these orders, right? So that means that if you take away what the tip could be, it means that the tip is $4.06 is what they're showing you, right? You know, so, and with that order at the bottom, if base fare is $2 still, that means the customer tipped you $1.02. You know, I don't know what those miles are. Those miles look like 3 miles or 3 point. Oh shit, sorry. Those miles look like 3 point. I don't even know. The words are covering up the miles and stuff like that, so I can't really even tell. But like I said, like, just calculate that and stuff like that, and just like see what you're getting paid for your time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just see that you're not getting paid enough for your time. You know, and I'm just taking time out of like reading my book and stuff like that, because it's really good. And so, like I said, it's called Money Master the Game. And Tony Robbins, like I said, he writes like really, really good. You know, like, it's very interactive. Like, you feel like you're actually sitting there talking to him. It's really good. You guys should check it out for real. But you know, and I'm just taking time out of my book, you know, to show you guys again that, like, how are people even making money out here, bro? Like $4, bro. Every time I look around, it's $4. It's $5, bro. Do you realize how many times you're gonna have to keep on doing that, bro? Like, over 30 times. At $4, bro, you're gonna have to do that 30 times to make $120, bro. Literally, you're gonna have to turn around, and if, like I said, you're not guaranteed a tip. Even on these little $4 trips and stuff like that, you're still not guaranteed a tip. Like, even though there's it like a $4 ride, it would, like, you would think that it would put so much more leg room for you to possibly get a tip. But literally, I've taken $4 rides where there is no tip at all. It's just, I get the $4 and that's it. Like I said, the amount that you see on your screen, you cannot think that you're going to get extra money from that amount. It doesn't matter if it's a food delivery. It doesn't matter if it's a you know, a car ride or whatever, or something like that. It does not matter. The money that you see on your screen is the amount that you're going to get. So, like I said, you have to choose very wisely what you decide to take, because you're not getting any more than that, bro. Like, I can't stress that enough. And it makes it so hard that, like, you're gonna have to do 30 rides to make $120. So that means that if you want to make $200, you're gonna have to do 60 rides in a day at $4 a ride. And that just depends on how many hours that even takes for the whole day. Like, do you know how many rides a day, how many hours it takes in that day to even do 60 rides, bro? Like, even though they might be short, or they might be a little bit long, like, depending on, like, if you're doing $1 a mile. So if you're doing like $4 for like 4 miles or whatever, you know, 4 miles could equate for like 10 minutes sometimes or whatever. So just depending on how many like rides are doing and stuff like that, how much time that even equates to, bro, you're already almost at like probably 24 hours or even a little bit longer than that to even do 60 rides in that day. Like, you're out the whole day doing rides for like $4, bro. Like, I personally can't fathom that I'm gonna be out doing $4 rides for 24 hours. Like, that seems very degrading to me. Like, just for $4, bro, like, you're gonna keep me out for 24 hours doing $4 rides the whole entire day. You're telling me you're about to give me $4 to do rides for 24 hours? Like, really? 60 rides, bro. That doesn't even account for all the people take in your car and stuff like that. So if there's 4 people in your car, that means that everybody paid $1 and about 25 cents, right? You know, just depending on if there is cents on the dollar or something like that. No, bro. What? Bro, stuff like Walgreens orders, that stuff you used to pay like $20, $26 for those amount of miles, bro. But every time you get bid, it's always the dollar is smaller than the miles. It's never the miles are smaller than the dollar. Like, it's always the opposite way around, where you're doing more work than what you're getting paid for. Like I said, if you take things like that, you're paying to work. You're not being paid to work, you're paying to work. It's just the situation that it is. You know, like I said before, I just don't understand that, like, you have to put in, wow, is that even the same order that you're trying to offer me, bro? Wow, did you just raise, what was that? Like, what did I say that was before? Like, what was it, like $6.02 or something like that? And they're telling me that they just raised it like 6 extra cents, bruh? You're kidding me. You're kidding me, bruh. Bro, you're kidding me, bro. There's no way. There's no way, bro. There's no way there's no way you just put 6 cents on that order, bro. There's no way. There's no way, bro. There's no way. And there's no way, like I said, that I'm doing for a whole 24 hours, I'm doing like $4 rides. I'm putting like 4 people in my car. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? 2 people in my car for that amount, and I'm not getting tipped at all, bro. Like, I'm so tired of like taking that chance or that risk and stuff like that. Like, having my car dirtied up, somebody throwing up in my car because I took them from the bar for $4, bro, and not getting tipped at all, bro. I just, like I said, I just can't fathom that, bro. Like, doing all that work, giving all your energy, bro. You don't understand like how much this business can fatigue you if you're not getting paid well enough. Like, you can love what you do all you want to do, but if you're not getting paid enough to survive, bruh, this shit will fatigue the hell out of you, for real. And that's exactly what stage I'm at already right now. You know, like, just look what's coming across my screen. Like just all the amount of just work that you would need to do. Like, and it's not like, you know, I'm afraid of doing work or I don't do enough work, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, there's a point of doing work and then being taken advantage of, bro. And this is what I always pointed to. Like, imagine your job just one day decides to, if you're getting paid $20 an hour, and decides that one day when you come in and clock in that they're just gonna only pay you at 15, but you signed the papers for 20, right? Imagine your job says, okay, well, we're gonna decrease your pay, but what we want to do also is you're gonna do your task and you're gonna do extra tasks on top of that. And I'm not saying that this hasn't happened at all, because it's happened to me, because when I worked at Walmart or whatever, you know, well, they didn't decrease my pay, but they increased the amount of work that I had to output for the same amount of pay. So my pay didn't even increase. So in a sense, it was a decrease in pay that they kind of did, because I was doing 2 people's jobs at one type of pay. I didn't understand that or whatever that they were doing during the pandemic, because everybody was catching quote unquote COVID and taking breaks and shit like that and getting paid and stuff like that. It was crazy. So, you know, they were having everybody overworked because of the fact that, you know, they was having people play this game with COVID and shit like that. So, you know, it backfired on everybody else because everybody else had to pick up the slack. But like I said, just imagine that, and imagine how it felt when, you know, you were treated like that. No, that's dumb. But imagine how, you know, you felt like, or just remember how you felt when they did that to you. Literally, that's exactly what's happening now. We're having a decreased rate of pay, but we're having to do the same amount of tasks plus more. Like, every time you're seeing, like, you're getting underbid. Look at this. What is that? That's over 19, almost $11 for 12.4 miles or something like that. That's over 37 minutes, bro. And that doesn't include the wait time. That doesn't include the shopping time and stuff like that. That's just an estimated number. So they think that you're going to just go in there and just pick up the items. A lot of times, sometimes it'll be as easy as that, but a lot of times it's not as easy as that. So every time it's always different, like I said. And then also you have to drive the extra miles and stuff like that. So easily with those like CVS orders and like these shopping pay orders, you're always going to be around like 45 minutes to about an hour, you know what I'm saying, for that like pay. So if you do 45 minutes to about an hour, you're only going to get $11 an hour. That sucks. That's horrible. That's not how you're going to work. That's not how you're going to make your living doing that, bro. Like, that's just oblivious. That's just crazy to me. But like I said, when you learn it, you learn the hard way and stuff like that. And I've done it before or whatever. And that's how I can tell you guys that, like, doing a lot of these shopping pay orders and stuff like that, just doing a lot of these things, like, the miles and the time have to be really low. Like, a lot of times it has to be like $11 for like maybe 2 miles or something like that, 4 miles or something like that. And then, you know, and then if it says that, you know, it's only like 2 or 4 items or something like that, I'm like, okay, cool. You know, they're just around the corner. It's not that bad for real. So at the most that order would take, because the distance is short, you know, it'll increase the amount of, like, you know, profits I possibly make off that order, because, you know, like, you know, even if it takes me 30 minutes to get that done, you know, that includes me shopping and then getting to the customer, I can still make my 20 something dollars in that hour or something like that. You know, like I said, we aim for, that's dumb, no, we aim for about $27 to $30 an hour, because that's the minimum to even afford a 1-bedroom apartment at $1,700 a month, right? And that's on paper, you know, just for you know, what's it called, you know, just to afford just the apartment. And a lot of times people need, you know, roommates and stuff like that, because a lot of people don't make $60,000 a year, bro. Like, you need a quote unquote degree, you know what I'm saying, to make $60,000 a year, or you need to be at a job for like over 10 years or something like that to make $60,000 a year, bro. You know, if you're in the same position. But if you know, you go up to, like, you know, management or some shit like that, you know, you can get that amount, but then they're gonna put you on salary, and that fucks you even in the end, because, you know what I'm saying, you don't get overtime, you know, you know, your pay stays the same and shit like that, so you can put in as many hours as you want, but you're not going to get any extra money and stuff like that. You know, when I worked at Coca-Cola and stuff, it was actually the opposite. So the longer I stayed on the clock, the less money I would get. Like, I could do overtime, but, like, you know, my regular pay was like because I was on salary or whatever, and my regular pay, so it was salary, and it equated to about like $17 an hour or whatever when you do the math or something like that. But then when you do overtime, like, let's say, you know, you're starting to hit like 40 plus hours, you know what I'm saying, that week and shit like that. Well, Coca-Cola was like, well, we're gonna start paying you at minimum wage. You know, minimum wage is like, they start paying you at like $7 an hour or some shit like that. So you're gonna be essentially, like I said, working for free when it comes to salary and stuff like that. So that's how that bites you in the ass. But, you know, what the fuck? No. But like I said, just imagine, just remember the feeling that it gave you, you know, when you're doing more work and being paid less. That's just my example of just what it feels like right now, and what you're seeing on my screen right now, that we're being overworked and being paid way less every single time. I know I am, for sure. There's a few people that I understand are being paid, you know what I'm saying, way less too, just like they're in the same boat as me and shit like that. But my biggest gripe, like I said, no, $7 for 9 miles, bro. No, I'm not. And to Ackworth, bro, there's nothing out there at this time, bro. You're about to know. And another thing is that, like, you have to know what area you're going to, because if you don't, you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna be put into an area that's dead. Like, you know, you go from a busy area to a dead area, and then boom, you're wasting a whole lot of dead miles to get back to the area that you were just at, because the area that's dead doesn't have nothing going on, so you can't really, like, you know, replenish your money as fast as, you know, you could in like a busy area if you stayed in a busy area or something like that. So let's say, you know, you were in a, like, I'm in Kennesaw, so let's say I go to Marietta. You know, Marietta is a pretty busy area, you know, because it's a college area too. Kennesaw is a college area too, you know. So it's usually always busy. You know, you can get like rides or whatever, you know, even though they're shitty paying. Or you can get like food orders. A lot of times they're okay, but a lot of times they're shitty, as you can see on my screen, you know. But just sticking to an area that's busy at all times is a good rule of thumb, you know. But what else was I gonna say? Wow, with multiple stops. That's crazy. With multiple stops. That's crazy to me. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Lost my train of thought. That's crazy. When I go on to a whole nother subject, I lose my train of thought. Oh man, what was I gonna say? I don't know. It'll probably come back to me, possibly. I hope so. But oh, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know how people are actually making, like, like I said, money out here. Like, I understand certain markets are different from others. But like in this economy right now, like are people actually, like, one thing I was thinking about, like, are people actually going against the grain and actually taking these orders or taking these rides and then bragging about them making $1,000 a week or $1,400 a week, like, because of the way that the economy is, that it just makes me question, like, if there's not any money for me, how is there money for you? But like I said, I understand the algorithm doesn't treat us all the same way, right? But at the same time, I'm like, not every market has the same amount of money that every other market has. So it makes me think, like, are people actually taking things like this right here, right? Are people actually taking rides like this and bragging that they're making $1,000 a week, like, at a loss? Like, you don't understand that you're gonna be putting more gas into your car. You're literally actively putting more wear and tear on your car. Like, I understand a lot of people don't give a shit about their cars, but like, I'm different. I actually care about my car. I'm trying to make it last as long as possible, right? I've already been through 2 transmissions. I mean, well, 1 transmission died at 185,000 miles, right, on my Nissan Altima, right? Pretty good amount of miles and stuff like that for a minimum care that I didn't really too much take care of that transmission at all, for real. So that one was my fault. The second transmission was a used transmission, right? And that one, it worked fine, I guess. I mean, it didn't have any thing that that made me think it was gonna go out anytime soon. But after I got the first transmission replaced at 185,000 miles, the second one lasted another 20,000 miles. So after that, I took it up to like the Nissan dealership because I had a check engine light or whatever. But that was because of like the catalytic converters or something like that. And I guess there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with like the fuel ratio or something like that. Like, there's always something wrong with the catalytic converter with the Nissans and shit like that. It's one of like the defects of it. Like the cats always go bad on these shits. So I put it up there. Next thing you know, Nissan tells me that there's a judder code in that that used transmission I got into my car. So they recommend that it get replaced or whatever and stuff. Luckily at the time I had a warranty, so the warranty replaced it for me, which didn't make a dent in my pocket, except just I had to pay like $100 for the deductible, and that's about it really. So after that, I'm like, okay, cool, I got a whole new transmission. So the transmission I got in my car, I've already put I have 222,000 on my car, so I've put around 18,000 miles, somewhere around there, like 15,000 miles. I want to say yeah, around like 16,000 miles on the new transmission already so far, right? So not too bad, and it's working perfectly fine. I love it. I love my car and stuff like that. And my biggest thing is like not trying to cause too much wear and tear on my car, because I know how expensive these parts can get. Like the second transmission I bought, the used one, buying these transmissions is not cheap, for real. Like, it's $1,600 every time a transmission goes out, and that's used. What's it called? Remanufactured, you can get it as low as $3,000, but sometimes people charge as high as like $5,000 and $6,000 for these remanufactured transmissions. So these shits can get really expensive, especially if you don't have the money to do it and you don't have no warranty and shit like that. Like these things are nothing to play with. These are like at your own cost. Like, so if you're not operating your business wise, you're gonna cause yourself to be in a hole and stuff like that. Like I said, it could be a transmission, it could be an engine, it could be some tires, what I'm saying? It could be something, something could fail dramatically. You could get into an accident and total out your whole car. You know, that's a big one right there. Like, you know, if you don't have nothing in a backup or something like that, you know, your insurance doesn't want to, you know what I'm saying, pay out to you or some shit like that. That's a really, really big risk. You know what I'm saying? That's your whole business model gone. You can't use your car no more. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's things like that, like not, and that was my, and in my other videos, that was my biggest thing, was not being on the road for very long, right? One, because it causes road fatigue. You do not want to be driving when you're tired. I can tell you that because I've almost crashed this car multiple times when I was tired and I thought that I can get through it or whatever. So I thought taking energy drinks and shit like that. No, you know, and I thought I could do it or whatever, but you know, that shit wears off. And when it wears off, you'll crash very, very hard. Like, not, you know, like you'll crash your car very, very hard, but I'm talking about like your body will show its actual true sign of tiredness. Like, you'll actually feel like the tiredness hit very hard. It's almost like, you know, you ate an edible and like, you know, you're saying that, okay, this shit isn't shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, oh, it doesn't work at all. And then when the edible kicks in, you're like, oh damn, oh okay, no, yeah, this shit is hitting right here. Like, yeah, that's exactly what road fatigue will do to you. It'll sneak up on you after them energy drinks wear off, and it's really, really bad for real. Like that shit will hit really hard. And like I said, that's one reason why you should not be on the road for very, very long, because it'll affect you in a big way. Another reason is because of accidents. The longer, like I said before, insurance, with their statistics, they say that the longer that you're on the road, the more likely chance that you have to be into an accident. So that means that we need to actually just make whatever we need to make in a short amount of time and get off the roads. Because like I said, I've seen new Teslas, I've seen newer Hondas, newer Altimas, you know what I'm saying? Like, just newer cars in general, like, fucked up. Like, the door is fucking dented and shit like that. Like, what are you running against? Like, what's on the highway with us that has your new Altima, like, with a fucked up door? Like, I'm talking about, like, beat down. Like, I'm talking about as in, like, they were in one of those bull matches where, like, the bull just rammed the fucking door, bruh. Missing bumpers on these new cars. Bumpers is banged up and stuff like that. You know, like, just deep scratches everywhere. It gets crazy for real. And like, all I can think about is that these drivers are on the road for too fucking long, bro. Either that or they can't drive for shit for real. Because like, bro, these, like, I just don't understand how people don't care about their cars, bro. And some people don't care about their cars to the point where I've heard that some people, like, and I've had conversations with people that just don't care about their cars. Like, they just treat their cars like throwaways. Like, it's just, they drive their car into the fucking ground and they get another one. It's not that I drive my car, I take care of it, you know what I'm saying, the best that I can and stuff like that. If it does die, then I'll, you know what I'm saying, if I can repair, I can, but if I can't, you know, I'll get another one. No, some people don't think like that. Some people think that every car that they fucking get is a throwaway and then they'll sign a new loan or something like that. Like, and like, I just don't understand that. Like, it's like, I don't know, I guess one thing I can think about is like entitlement and shit like that. Like, I don't know how you can kind of like just like think like that, you know, like where everything is just kind of entitled to you in a way where it's just, okay, well, after I throw this away, I'm just gonna get another one, you know what I'm saying? Like some things, yeah, you can think about, like, but like certain things, like, you know, your car, your life, you know what I'm saying, your house and stuff like that, you know, it's not that easy, you know, when, you know, these things are like the things that you use in your everyday, you know, living situation, you know what I'm saying? Your life definitely isn't replaceable and shit like that, you know, so caring about your health, caring about your life and shit like that, you know, that should be no, but some people don't, you know, and caring about your car, like I said, some people just don't really give a fuck about their shit. Like, yeah, I get it. Maybe if it's leased or something like that, or like it's a rental, you know, I get it. You know, it doesn't really apply to you. So, you know, like, drive it like you stole it, right? You know, but when it's your car, you know, it's financed, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice car, you know, like, actually care about it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually put some thought into it that, like, you know, this is your money that you put towards it and shit like that. Just don't run it to the ground, like, not do oil changes, you know what I'm saying, not do basic maintenance. Like, yeah, the shit kind of gets expensive at times and shit like that, but like just making the car last as long as possible, for real, because like those loans add up, for real, you know what I'm saying? Like those loans eat away at your paycheck, you know what I'm saying? So it's not that easy to just say, okay, I'll just get another car. You know, if you don't have the money to keep doing that or whatever, that shit could get really expensive and shit, you know? So, or a house or something like that, you don't care about your house, like you're eating away at the fact that, like, it's a piece of property. Like, yeah, you can maybe do some, upgrades and renovations to it and stuff like that later, but like, just not caring about your property like that's kind of like, just, I don't know, to me it's just kind of sad, because I care about my things that I have, and a lot of people just don't care about their things, and I just don't understand that. Like I said, the only thing I can relate that with is like a sense of entitlement, or just unappreciation, I guess, in a way. I guess people just don't appreciate what they have, but then like sometimes when it gets taken away from you, that's when you'll actually start appreciating it. And just like how that saying goes, you never know how you feel about something until it's gone. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you have until it's gone. You know what I'm saying? So that can mean, the relationships, that can mean, the house, the cars, anything. You never know what you have until it's gone. So like I said, man, it's just about like staying off the road as long as possible. But unfortunately, we're battling companies that just don't care about us and our well-being and our health and stuff like that. So they're trying to keep us on the road for as long as possible. Like I said, at $4 a ride, it's gonna take 30 rides just to make 120. Double that to make 240. You got to do 60 rides. That takes hours. That's gonna probably take a whole 24 hours for you to do that. Like, that's crazy to me. At $4, bro. And that's with nobody tipping. Like I said, the amount of money, the money that you see on your screen is the money that you're 100% probably gonna get, because there's no tipping right now. The economy is not at its best, so there is no more free money. The customers are being charged out the ass, and that's not their fault. But at the same time, it's like, we can't provide a service if we're not getting paid enough. And unfortunately, it's hurting the customer, because Uber and them, they don't want to pay us as drivers. They want to take all the money from the customer. They just, I don't know. It's not a fair equation at all. I don't see a lot of like the fairness in it. That everything has to do with like the customer, and them taking as much money from the customer and shit like that. Because, bro, like they're breaking the customer's bank. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like I said, drivers are now coming to a consensus that, what, we can do our own private rides. So that means, and that's not to like, I guess, like scare customers away. We're actually trying to invite customers to actually start riding privately with us. Like, we're the same drivers that pick you up on the Uber platform, but we're not getting paid enough. So how about we make a deal where, you ride with us privately. We set up a price and stuff like that that's fair. Even though you guys might pay the same amount to like Uber and stuff like that, but like I said before, the price that you guys pay to Uber is not what we get. So if you pay $27, we're only gonna get 8 or 10 of it. The rest is gonna go to the company, so the company profits more of the amount, but they don't do the service. They only have the app, and then that's about it. So if you like paying an app that doesn't do much besides give you the ride, and then you have to, pay less to the driver that actually provides you the service, if you like that, then I guess you're just one of the cheap customers that don't really understand how service works, or you never worked in the service industry before. But, if you're a customer that understands that, like, the value of service workers and stuff like that, and understand that, that we provide a service and that we should be paid accordingly, then, my thing is, just talk to people out there. Like I said, I do private rides. I give out, my own business cards and stuff like that. You know, talk to us as drivers and stuff like that, and we can set up private rides. Like if you have a car in mind that you liked from the, like, let's say, you know, you're on the Uber platform and you got a car that you like or something like that, you know, ask you know, the driver if they do private rides, you know, and discuss, and one thing I can say is also discuss the amount of, bruh, you're pissing me off, bruh, stop it, bruh. But you know, talk to the driver and ask the driver how much are they getting paid out of the amount that, you know, you paid and stuff like that. So, you know, let's say, you know, you paid $40, you know, just start the conversation by, you know, like, just asking the driver, like, how much are you getting paid out of that? And I promise you, a lot of times it's like $10, $12, $15 out of that $45. So the app is profiting over $25 off of, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, yeah, that's like $25, $29 or whatever it is, whatever the math is, man. I don't know. But the math is like crazy on how much the app is profiting off the customer. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not paying the driver at all, you know? So when you figure that out, that the apps are the ones who are getting all the money and not the drivers, it should strike some type of like I guess assurance that, like, you know, well, I'm not paying the app, I'm not paying my phone to teleport me, right? I'm not paying my phone to spawn a magic carpet to, you know what I'm saying, take me somewhere. I'm using my phone to get a driver, which is going to provide me the service, another human being to provide me the service. Not my phone provides me the service, another driver, another human being provides me the service, right? But unfortunately, that other human being isn't paid very well and is being exploited, right? Like I said, my thing is just, you know, talk to drivers and stuff like that and see how much, you know, they're actually getting paid, and see how much, you know, they're getting paid versus the amount that you're getting paid. And it will shock you that, like I said, these apps aren't paying us very, very much at all. You know, like I said, you can see on my screen, these are live data numbers. You know, like I said, it's not October, goddamn, it's December the 6th, and it's 2023. You know, and every time that they, you know, give us these numbers, it's always underbid. You know, it's just that we're gonna do more miles. Like, I mean, it's like the one at the top, what was that? That's like over 30 miles for $19. You know, this is gonna take, that's like, I'm gonna say, you know, that's like 40 minutes right there, 39 minutes or whatever, plus another 12. So that 40 minutes, that's like 52 minutes right there, right? 52 minutes for $19, and like, that's $19 an hour basically, right? At the top. At the bottom here, what's that, like, that's 7 plus 2 is 9, 3 plus 3 is 6. So basically 7 miles for $5.81, right? Look at that, $10 for 12 miles. Look at that, going, that's 28 minutes, basically 30 minutes for $10, right? In that hour, you're only gonna make $20, because guess what? The algorithm is gonna be like, okay, cool, you like $10 an hour, you like $10 every 30 minutes, so guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna give you $10 every 30 minutes, or we're even gonna lower it to $9 every 30 minutes. So you're gonna make $20, or you're gonna make $19 every hour. Because like I said, the algorithm learns you, but it learns you to the point where they're trying to make a profit. So that means if they need to bet you even less than X amount, that's what they're going to do. And I've actively showed you guys on the last offer where they gave me something. No, bro. No, what's that? 4.6 miles for 5. No, bro. You can easily give me $10 for these, bro. I'm not putting nobody in my car for those amount of miles. And just that amount of dollar, bro, like, no, bro, you can do better than that. Like, come on now, please stop. $8 going 5.6 miles. Really? You can at least give me $10 for that, bro. You can at least give me $10 for that. I'm like, you can at least give me $10 for that, bro. Wow, look at that. That's over 5 miles for $4.96. Wow, you can't even get to $1 a mile on that, bro. I'm not even saying I want $1 a mile, but how do you bid like under the amount. Like, you're borderline under the amount. Like, you can't even get me to $1, bro. Like this is what I'm like saying, bro. Like, how do you keep bidding me under the amount? Like, every time. I just don't understand that. You know, I really don't. I really don't. Every time you just bid me under the amount. Like, I just don't understand. I really don't. So, you know, look at that, $5 for 4.1 miles. It's like the same thing. Like, how do you only give me $1 a mile? Like, I just, like, can't you get me like $2 a mile, like $8 for 4 miles, $10 for 4 miles, or something like that? Like, the goal of the game is not to be accepting these orders to keep staying out longer. The goal of the game is to accept these orders to stay out for a shorter amount of time, bruh. $2, look at that. The goal of the game is to accept these orders to make your money as fast as possible and get off the road. It's not to say that that's like a get-rich-quick scheme or like some type of other, like, you know, whatever scam you think it sounds like or whatever. But literally, like I said, it's not trying to fit the statistics, bruh. The longer that you stay out on the road, the more chances that you have to be into an accident, bruh. That's just my biggest thing. So as long as they keep on underbidding us with these amounts, that's gonna get us to be on the road for a lot longer, and that's not what I'm trying to do. That's not what I'm trying to have everybody else do, because it's not helping us in the end. It's not helping us in the end. It really is not. You know, and that's just my biggest gripe, for real. You know, just like just, I wish that, you know, customers would just understand, you know, just our thing where, like, you know, we already went through background checks, you know, that's how we got approved for the app. So, you know, if our background check was bad, trust me, you would not be on the app and stuff like that at all. You know, even though customers don't get background checks. So my thing is, like a driver, a lot of times I would think, you know, customers need to go through a background check of some sort, because there would be customers that are kind of crazy, for real. Like, they do some crazy shit, for real. Like, so I think that the customers need to go through a background check too, not just the driver, seeing that the driver is safe, but then the customer, you know, we don't know what type of customers we're dealing with. You feel me? So I don't know. I think that customers should go through a background check too. So, you know, as long as, you know, you're maybe cool with the customer, I'd say, you know, like, and I'm talking about like private rides at this point, right? So, nope. But I'm talking about private rides at this point, where, you know the customer and stuff like that, you know, you're cool with them. They don't have to go through a background check. But like, if you do want to incorporate that, you know, later in the venture of, like, you know, you doing private rides and stuff, you know, incorporate a background check, you know, just to know, like, who you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, just to see, like, you know, if this person is a potential good customer for you, because like I said, it's about safety too. You know, Uber wants, you know, the customer to be safe. Well, the driver should feel like they're safe too. You feel me? So, you know, if you're doing private rides, I would probably, like, highly suggest that and stuff like that, just to know, like, what type of customer you're dealing with. Like I said, if you already know the customer, you know, you guys already, you know, been, you know, doing private rides and stuff like that, you guys click, you guys, you know what I'm saying, you guys trust each other and stuff like that. You know, I'm not saying that is, that's, like, necessary, really. But, like, I'd say, you know, like a new client that you probably want to, like, recruit or something like that, I'd say, you know, a background check is, like, probably gonna be essential and stuff like that, to know, like, you know, who exactly you're dealing with and stuff like that, you know. And it could be like a mutual thing where, like, you know, if the customer wants to know, like, you know, who exactly they're dealing with or something like that, then I mean, that's cool too. You know, run your own background check on yourself or something like that, you know, so you guys are both, you know, honest with each other and stuff. You know, it's about doing honest business. I believe in doing honest business, you know. So me, as an honest businessman, I would do that, you know, for the customer, knowing that, you know, I want to know if I'm safe, and then you want to know that you're safe. So then, as, like, when we're working together, we're making the dream work, right? Teamwork makes the dream work, right? You know, I'd say that's, like, you know, kind of crucial to probably do when running like a private business. But like I said, the customers are getting shafted because they're being charged too much. Really, you guys are being charged way too much, right? Like, especially on the rides part, where, like I said, you guys are paying like certain amounts, and then we're not getting that certain amount. We're not getting a good percentage of the amount with the service that we provide. We're always being underbid, underpaid and overworked, where we're doing more miles, we're putting more miles on our vehicle, we're driving more, using more of this, using more of that for less pay. And like I said, some customers might not agree with me, because one thing I figured out, that some customers don't like the fact of having to give the driver all the money. And I guess I don't understand that at all, because I'm like, what is the difference? Like, that your money is being split with an app. Like, either way, the money is going to be going somewhere. The person that's providing you the service is providing you the service. The app isn't all the way providing you the service, so the money that you pay for should go to the driver, essentially, because that's the person that the app uses, to provide you the actual service. If there was no need for the app, it would just be the driver anyway, because that's the platform. It's just the driver. Just like, when you get your car taken to a service place or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, there could be somebody that knows a service place, but and they could charge a fee to tell you that that this service place is pretty good or whatever, and they may charge you a $50 fee, you know what I'm saying? And then you might turn around and find this service place or whatever, and then they'll charge you for the service too. But that's pretty much what's going on. Literally, you're paying two fees, and the money's being split in two different ways or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's being split in two different ways. You don't have to split it in two different ways, because one is just a median, like a mediator or some shit like that, just a middleman, and then the other person is the actual person that actually provides the service. So in this case, it's the app that's the middleman or the median, the mediator or whatever and stuff like that. And then we're actually the actual service providers. We as the drivers are the actual service providers. So my thing is that I don't understand, how some customers don't feel that the driver should get all the money. Like I said, as long as the price is fair, like how I said, a private service is different from, like a bidding service, because that's what Uber is. It's essentially kind of like a bidding service, because they can bid you higher, as a customer, based on demand and stuff like that, or they can bid you lower. It's a bidding service, but we don't have to bid you guys like how Uber does, because we're not searching after crazy profits like how the apps are and stuff like that. But like I said, sometimes the price could be higher, sometimes the price could be lower. And so some drivers charge by the mile, some drivers charge by the time or something like that, But like I said, the ideal goal is to make $20 and $27 to $30 an hour, sometimes even $40 an hour, and it just depends on the car and stuff like that, of what they charge, so all that. But it should be a fair price, like I said, just talk to people and stuff like that. And the good thing about a private ride, a private business and stuff like that, as a customer, that I think you guys should take into account is that as long as that driver, is available and stuff like that, that could be a sure ride for you guys, like at all times, just knowing that, you don't have to worry about, getting this weird driver or something like that, a smelly car, a car that, what I'm saying, like just doesn't fit your preferences at all. Exactly what you're getting into before you even get into it. You understand? Like there is no random game of knowing, like, that there's going to be always a different driver every time. You don't have to play that type of game. Maybe if you like the game of like charades, of like, you like to play your cards different every time, you like to have different drivers every time, I guess then that's cool. I'd say, have multiple different private drivers then or something like that, to switch it up at certain times. But or even have multiple private drivers to count as like a backup. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing about it is that, like I said, we're just trying to get paid fairly, and the apps aren't bidding us very well. Like I said, Uber is a bidding service at this point. They're just bidding us. Like, they're bidding both of, they're bidding us as a driver, and they're bidding you guys as a customer, and they're trying to bid us as a driver as low as they can to get them as much profits, and they're bidding you guys as high as they can so they can receive as much profit. So like I said, we're both losing in the end, but what we want to do is we want to provide a service to you guys as a customer, so then we both win. You guys get you guys' rides and stuff like that. You guys get to, like I said, possibly choose you guys' car that you guys want, depending on if you guys have like a relationship with a driver or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you guys connect with each other and be like, okay, cool, you provide this service, what's your price and stuff like that. They can pick you up, consistently, to go here, to go there, wherever you guys want to go and stuff like that. It just costs or whatever. Like I said, it doesn't have to cost as much as Uber. Sometimes it just depends on what driver you have and stuff like that, what price that they give, but like I said, it's just the assurance that you will always have a driver. You don't have to wait, all these extra times and stuff like that. You'll always have a driver. You'll know exactly what you're getting into before you even get into it. You always know what you're dealing with. You always know the driver's personality, so that makes it a lot easier. If you already click with the driver, it makes it so much easier. Have that driver be your private driver or something like that, or have multiple drivers in your roster or something like that, that you click with, and just be like, okay, cool, I click with this driver, we match, our personalities is cool and stuff like that. I trust this driver and stuff like that. The driver trusts you, as a customer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, just make it happen. Like I said, we're trying to make a living, but the apps aren't doing that for us, right? You guys as a customer are being charged way too much, and we as a driver are being paid way too little, right? And we have to come into some type of like, just like middle ground or something like that. Like, we need to, like, as driver and a customer, we need to come to some type of middle ground and be like, we're tired of it, because we can't keep on having, us as a driver complaining and the customers complaining that the apps are charging us, or the apps are charging customers way too much, or the drivers are getting paid way too little. Like, we don't need to complain about this stuff no more. Like, what we need to do is we need to make a change and be like, does this driver do private rides? Like, just ask the driver if they do private rides, and just get the driver's number or something like that. If they got business cards, get the business card from the driver and stuff like that, and what I'm saying, just make it happen from there. Plan you guys' whatever whatever game plan you guys got going on or whatever. Plan it. If you need a ride to work every day, have that as your private driver to drive you to work every day. It will save you so much time. The rates don't have to change, like fluctuate. So, like, if you're taking Uber, you don't have to have like a fluctuating rate where, like, you just took the same ride yesterday to work for $20 and now today is $30, and tomorrow it's like $15, but then the next day it's like $45. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be like that. It can always be one consistent, steady rate. And that's also what's different with private rides too, is the consistency with the pay and stuff like that. It doesn't have to differ at all. As long as you're like on a planned route and stuff like that, you can always have the consistency, and that actually works a lot better too. So just think about it, for real. Like, the consistency will probably work in your favor, for real. Like, it probably will. So, private rides might actually be a better thing for everybody, us as a driver and you guys as a customer. Like I said, you know what you're getting into before you already get into it. It's not a guessing game. It's not, do I have enough money for this? It's, like, this driver is pretty cool. We connect, they gave me a fair price and stuff like that. They're very consistent with the work. I love their car and stuff like that. It's very comfortable, what I'm saying? Like, just making it work. Like I said, it's really the same person. We run a business. We're trying to run a business and stuff like that. You guys as a customer are trying to get places and stuff like that. So it's the same thing. Like I said, Uber uses the same type of, Uber does not own any of our cars. So the cars that, you know, like, except for maybe the rental one, well, they don't even own those because those are owned by Hertz and like Avis and all the rental agencies. Hertz just, I mean, Uber and like Lyft and stuff like that only just partner with those people. So they get a certain percentage, you know, every time the Uber driver, you know, rents a car from them or whatever and stuff like that, because they're just partners, right? But Uber essentially does not own all of the cars on the platform. They don't own any of the cars on the platform actually. So all the cars that you get into still aren't even owned by Uber, so they still are owned by us as the driver. So either way, you're still paying for our cars as a driver. We are the actual platform. The driver is not Uber being the platform of, like, you know what I'm saying, you paid your way to ride in a car that's owned by Uber. No, you didn't pay to ride in a car that's owned by Uber. You paid you paid for a ride to ride in a car that's owned by the driver that's going to pick you up. That's exactly what you paid for, not Uber owning the car. Because it may be like Waymos and, you know, all these like you know, what do they call them, like the automated cars and shit, like the self-driving cars. Maybe Uber might own those, they might have rights to those or whatever, and so that might be their technology or whatever in them. You know, that would be, you know, their thing, where, like, you know, they own those cars. But as far as all the other cars on the platform that you get a ride, you know what I'm saying, Uber does not own any of the cars. And that's what actually that's also what separates, you know, Uber and, like, knowing that, you know, they don't own them, because we're independent contractors. We provide all of our supplies, you know what I'm saying, everything, all of our equipment, we bring that ourselves. You know, Uber does not own any of our equipment at all. Like, we pay for everything, you know. And that's how they got away with categorizing us as independent contractors, so they don't have to own anything, because it hurts their bottom line, you know, to own stuff, you know, to have to, you know, do repairs and stuff like that. You know, imagine all the people that, you know, that blew an engine, the transmissions, how much money Uber would have to be coming out with every single time. You know, like I said, transmissions are $6,000 for a rebuilt one, to even remanufacture one, you know what I'm saying? Like, these things aren't cheap. Engines, $5,000, you know what I'm saying, like $3,000. You can sometimes get some for $2,000 or something like that. Sometimes there are a few hundreds and stuff like that. But, you know, imagine all the people that drive their car into the ground and, you know, that don't have to care about their cars and stuff like that. And, you know, you just, you know, Uber would have to put out a whole lot of money, but they decided to go the route of consider us as independent contractors, so they don't have to pay for that at all. We pay for it, you know what I'm saying, but we have to make enough money to pay for it. You know, that's the biggest difference. But like I said, you know, just finding a driver that, you know, you as a customer trust, you know, a driver finding a customer that they trust and stuff like that, and just making things work and stuff like that, you know, giving them a fair rate, you know, a consistent rate and stuff like that, you know, something that you guys work out with and stuff like that, you know, so it meets, you know, both of your guys' needs and stuff, you know, that's just the biggest thing, right? Let's see, what is that? Oh, and that's the what's it? That's the $4 tip from the customer for the Chick-fil-A, like, you know, back in at 8:30 or whatever. It's 11 o'clock right now. I haven't accepted an order since the last time that I had that order for nope. Since I had that Tiger Sugar order or whatever, you know, and that was, I think, over an hour ago, because I've been this recording right now has been going on for like an hour and 2 minutes, so, or hour and 3 minutes now. But that was that $4, you know, included with the $2 base fare. And I think I just got a reservation. It's early in the morning. $25 for 22.8 millis. The Galleria for Joe. I mean, airport is usually is usually like assured that you might get a tip. Sometimes you will, sometimes you don't, but I will do it. I will do it. What is this? Your reservation is confirmed. Okay, cool. Be online or cancel by 5:05 a.m. Got it. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see if I can get it. If I if I get a tip or whatever, that's cool too with me. But yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do with it, bruh. Stop it, bruh. Please. It's everything can't be $1 a mile, bruh. Everything can't be $1 a mile. Come on now. Come on. $1 a mile under, bruh. There's no way everything is only $1 a mile. Like I said, with the food orders, everything is base fare is $2, right? Base fare is always going to be $2. Sometimes it might be a lot high, like the amount that you see on the screen is what you're actually going to get instantly, because it's a surge or whatever. Like it's because you could get like surge paid orders. Like, you ever ordered off of like Uber Eats and you see like like there's like an extra like a service fee. Like sometimes the service fee might be $7 or it might be like $20 sometimes and stuff like that. So that's like, the fee that's actually coming to us as drivers and stuff like that, So if you tip on top of that, that like could be pretty good for us and stuff. But like I said, so sometimes those amounts that you can see is, like the amount that you might get instantly, not that it's relying on a tip. And that's the biggest thing about that. Like, the amount on the screen sometimes isn't with the tip. It's the actual service fee itself. So sometimes the customer didn't tip because the service fee was so high, so and that all goes to you usually, as a driver. But sometimes, a lot of times, the base fare for Uber Eats orders and something like that is $2. So if you see something that's like $7, just know that you got tipped $5, right? You see something that's like $10, just know that you got tipped $8. You just do the math off that, of how much you possibly got tipped, because like I said, the regular base fare is $2. So you're waiting on a tip that might change or might not change. Like I said, it's a 25% chance that it will change, and a 75% chance that you'll get what you see on the screen. Literally, there is literally no leg room for change at all in the tip amount that you see on the screen. So what you see is what you get. But yeah, man, just like I say, this recording has been going on for like 1 hour and 6 minutes right now. Like I said, I'm just showing you guys what I do with on my screen, like that I'm always being underbid and underpaid, and this is an everyday thing. I can't even make any money at all times of the day, like, without doing more work, like, and it hurts for real, because like I said, I've done it before and I'm using more gas. Like, I'm gonna have to replenish my gas. That's gonna eat away at the work that I already got overworked for. Like, and it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it really doesn't make any sense to do that at all. Like, doing more work and then putting more expenses back into the business to essentially do more work. Like I said, you're paying to work. You're not being paid to work. You're paying to work. And that's exactly what it is when you actually catch on to it. You're paying to work. You're not getting paid to work. It's two differences there. You have to understand it. You have to feel it to understand, like, what I'm saying. And if you understand what I'm saying, then you understand what I'm going through. But, or if you understand how, the job market works, and like, if you get paid a certain amount today and then your boss just decides to decrease your pay and up the amount of tasks that you have at hand, you understand that's literally the same thing that I'm going through over here, and it's not fair. It's not right. We can't be paid like minimum wage sweatshop workers, bro. Like, we can't always be underbid, underpaid, working for free like we're robots, like we don't have expenses, like we don't have to eat food. Like, we don't have to have shelter. Like, we don't have to have clothes on our backs. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to pay for the vehicles that we drive, like the maintenance and even the car notes, you know, insurance and all that stuff like that. You know, like, we have expenses. You know what I'm saying? Some of those expenses are a lot higher than others, just depending on what vehicles, you know, you decide to use and stuff like that. We need the money for that. If we don't have it, then we can't operate our business. You know, so I don't know. I said, you know, as a customer, you know, just understand the fact that, you know, if you want a service like this, you know, you want it to be consistent, reliable and stuff, you know, find yourself a private driver, you know, like, it's, you know, that you trust, that, you know, you get along with and stuff like that. You know, it could be as simple as that, and you guys can have a consistent ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, just find yourself like a private driver, you know, off Uber or whatever. You don't have to go through like a company that's, you know, been like a big corporate company that's, you know, been, you know, up and going for like, you know, 15, 25 years or something like that. I mean, they might charge you out the ass too, for real. I mean, you know, because they're a big corporation, you know. But like, as a small business, you know, the price might be way different, you know. And that's what we are. We're small businesses, you know. So, you know, support small businesses for real, because a lot of small businesses is what keeps the world going. You know, corporate businesses is what is going to bankrupt or what bankrupts a lot of the world. You know, they take all the money and they don't, you know, put it anywhere besides their pockets and invest it into stuff that's going to take more away from society. You know, they don't give back, they take away, and that's about it. That's their game that they play. They take away, they don't give back usually, you know. Just depending on how much heart the company usually has, but corporate doesn't really have much of a heart, so they usually just take and don't give. So, but like I said, support small businesses. You know, it's what literally keeps this app running. We are a small business as Uber drivers, you know, DoorDash drivers, you know, Lyft drivers. You know, we're small businesses, so, you know, we keep the world going around, you know, as a small business. You know, like I said, as long as you trust your driver and so like that, the driver trusts you, you know, make some type of, you know, deal, make some type of something work out, you know what I'm saying? And you guys can have the surety of having a driver, you know, to take you, you know, to, you know, whatever event that's going on, you know, and a game or concert, you know, picking you up from the game or the concert, you know what I'm saying, knowing what driver you're getting, you know, knowing what type of car you're getting, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, have a private driver for real, you know. I think it'll work out for everybody. I think it'll work out. Yeah.